Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff, dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks, changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones, Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider, the quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez, Javi to B-Mac, Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog, he won 355, could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro, he got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis, old Nixon could fly, the catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson, we were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking, the top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy, the big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni, yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. Braves country. All right, we're starting a little rocky on the first episode of this. First time we've done one of these in a long time. And if you're just joining us trying to figure out what in the world's going on, well, we are beginning the Braves country today, and we're going to be doing this live. We're going to be doing them after one series ends and before the next series begins, and we'll be updating you on what the time is, but you really would just want to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll see the time on there. Sometimes it has to change because I'm rushing from one gig to the next, and I'm having to get to this studio, and so sometimes I can't get here. Today we're supposed to start at 3, and it ends up being about 15, 20 minutes late, but it is what it is, and we move on. So we'll get better. You know, in a perfect world, we won't have these games that overlap, but it is what it is. Okay. By the way, this Friday, we're planning on doing it somewhere between 12:30 and 1 live. Now, to watch live, you got to be a member. If you're not a member, you need to join today. If not, we'll catch you on the replay. But if you want to actually ask questions, if you want to make comments, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with the gambling show. You got to be a Braves Country Club member. I think we've done this long enough without requiring it, people to be a member, and you're either in or you're out. Okay, here we go. So the first thing that I want to touch on, if you missed the news, in the Atlanta Braves today, they put A.J. Minter on the IL, and they brought Dylan Lee back. Now, you got some skeptical people out there that believe that this is a ghost IL for A.J. because he's used a couple of times. I don't believe that's true. Not in this case. There's, the times where I tell you straight up, I believe it's a ghost IL. This is not one of those times. I believe this is an actual legitimate IL stint. His velocity had been down about 1 to 2 miles an hour. Not a huge deal, but it usually is a sign of something. So it's with left hip inflammation. Take that for what it's worth. Probably some kind of a strain in his left hip. And he is a left-handed pitcher. So that would be basically his drive leg, right? So we'll see. It's a 15-day IL stint. Probably going to need at least that. Usually what they do is they shut these guys down and they start bringing them back. I'm thinking best case scenario, we'll see A.J. Minter sometime in early September. In a perfect world, A.J. Minter will be ready to roll so they can, I guess that would be August 27th. And so, or I guess in theory, they could backdate it to yesterday. But anyways, that's what we've got on that. And actually, in theory, they could backdate it 2 days. But it sounds like that they're going to probably try to shut him down for a hot minute and go from there. All right, put that aside. I'm going to throw something out at y'all, and I'm telling you, I believe this to be true because of a quote. Because of a quote by Brian Snitker. Been telling you all year that I thought that Brian Snitker had, and not just Snitker, but the front office, put them all together. We'll just say management. I believe that all along these guys have gone with the mindset that they don't really want to win the division, that they just wanted to get in the playoffs because they want to see what it's going to be like to play that first round. And I think in their world, they thought about, good to see you, Brian. I think they thought about, hey, we get the top wild card. We're going to be at home. We're going to be all right, and we'll go from there. Problem was that the Braves played with their food, and the next thing you know, we are spinning. And this is why it's always dangerous to play that game, to say, hey, I don't want to be in the I don't want to win the division. I just want to win the wild card. Well, it's really easy to say that. It's another thing to be able to pull the trigger on that. So, with all that being said, now we're sitting here and we are, first of all, we're 4 games behind San Diego in Arizona. I hate to break it to y'all, but this is real. Unless the Braves get incredibly hot, we're not getting the top wild card straight, which means we're not going to be at home. We're going to be on the road in the first round. Now, we may be able to catch fire and be the number 5 seed, but I think you'd have to get really hot to catch either one of those teams. 4 games back, and the Atlanta Braves, as we stand here today, we are now officially 45 games away from the end. Right? We played 127. You play 162. We're 45 games from the end. Or, I'm sorry, 107. We played 117. But anyways, 45 games from the end. Making up 4 games in the next 45 days is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So now we realistically, what we're looking at is we got a half-game lead on the Mets. We have a 1.5-game lead on St. Louis and a 1.5-game lead on the team that we are playing tonight. The series that begins tonight, which is San Francisco. And you look at San Francisco and you say, hey, they're 2 games above 500. They've been playing pretty good baseball. And here's the other thing we'll get into in a second. We're going to go against their gauntlet of what is a pretty good pitching rotation. Pretty damn good pitching rotation. In fact, if you go man-to-man, top to bottom, I would say when they're hitting on all cylinders, their pitching rotation is just as good, if not better, than the Atlanta Braves as far as the depth goes. So we're gonna be up against it. Tonight, it's Blake Snell, who threw a no-hitter a couple of outings ago, and he is going to be going head-to-head versus Chris Sale. Now, if there's someone you want on the bump when you've got Chris Sale, hey, that's it. You'll look at Blake Snell and you'll say, well, he's got a 4.31 ERA. He's 2-3. Blah, blah, blah. He's not that great. I ain't worried about him, Mac. What the hell are you talking about? And then you go to his actual stats. And you go to, because remember, he started off horrifically at the beginning of the season. I mean, there were people just laughing at the Giants for giving them the deal they did. But remember, he came into camp extremely late. He won the Cy Young last year. This is what he's been doing ever since then. So in April, in 3 starts, he had 11.57 ERA. You're like, what? In May, he had 2 starts. And then they sent him to, May and then into June. In May, he had 2 starts at an 8.59 ERA and then a 5.79 ERA in June, which was just 1 start, right? At that point, he goes on the IL for a few weeks, comes back, and here we go. July. 4 starts in July. This is not a small sample size. And he went up against some pretty good offenses. Minnesota and the Dodgers were in there. He had a .75 ERA in 24 innings. A .75. Wow. And then in the month of August, he's had 2 starts at Cincinnati, which is a hitter's park, and at Washington, 1.8. So that's really what we're going up against, is a Blake Snell that is going to be a pain in the ass to get hits off of tonight. Now, we hope we're going to be able to play off of the momentum of the offense over the weekend. But I'm going to chalk that up. You can't say, well, the pitching sucked because we're in Colorado. But, man, the hitting looked good. It's the same thing. It is a hitter's environment. I dread the Colorado series every single year when we're in Colorado because I know what's going to happen. Even when you win the games, it wrecks your entire rotation. I wish there was a way for them to fix it because, honestly, It's a beautiful stadium, and the fans are absolutely electric. And I'm impressed by the Rocky fans every single time I see a game there. But the fact of the matter is, when you play the Rockies in the summer, it's going to wreck your bullpen. I would much rather play the Colorado Rockies, and we've done it a few times early part of the year. Because when it's still cold in Colorado, the ball's not flying, it doesn't wreck your bullpen, and you play some pretty low-scoring games, and you get the hell out of there. Only thing that was great this time is that a lot of times we've gone out there and it's been a 4-game series. It was only 3 games this time. But anyways, that game yesterday, it was a meltdown to the epic proportions. You can't sugarcoat it like some of these folks will try to do all over the place. They're going to try and say, oh, well, it's this and that's baseball, and it's a funny game, and you just don't even know, and blah, blah, blah. Horse hockey. Luke Jackson imploded. And Brian Snicker never should have had him out there that long, because by the time he goes and gets Luke, you can already start feeling something's in the air. And did Jimenez go out and have a horrific outing? Absolutely. He sucked. But he was dealt a really difficult hand to go in there, because once you get that momentum going in Colorado and the ball's getting slapped all over the place, and that place is a huge canyon to cover, the next thing you know, you see what happens there. That's not an abnormal game in Colorado. I know Braves fans feel like we've absolutely collapsed. And we did. It was a terrible outing. Especially because if we had been playing good baseball, we've lost 17 of our last 27. If we had been playing good baseball, you could just chalk that up as, whatever, we'll be all right. But we needed that win. We needed that win. We come into today, and look, I get it. The Atlanta Braves are still technically on top of the world, right? Technically, they are in the wild card standings. They're the first. They're not the first team out, but they are in the wild card atop of this. They're a half game up and 1 loss up on the Mets. We have 56 losses. They have 57. Today we'll even all that up. Tomorrow we will be flat-footed with the Mets. If we lose, we'll be a full game up if we win. And there you have that. Now, the one thing that you can also take away from this is that the Rockies and the Diamondbacks have played 119 games. We have played 117. We are 3 losses back. But we're 4 back in the standings. So, in theory, we're not as far back as it looks, but we'd have to get incredibly hot to get that 5 seed. That was what I was shooting for all along. But I still contend that the Braves front office, all the way down through the management, played with their food from May, June, July, and now we're here in August. Because April was a very good month, and they started this with some of it had to do with started getting hurt. I get it, but they started this where we don't have a 5-man rotation. We haven't had a 5-man rotation since about opening day. All we've had is 4 guys who are consistently up, and then rifling 2 more in. We've been running a 6-man rotation, 7 in some stretches, and you've shortened the bullpen. Grant Holmes should be in the damn bullpen, but they keep playing with their food. Well, the other night, I believe it was either Saturday night or early Sunday, they asked Snicker about this series, and it's going to be Sale, Morton, Holmes, and Fried. More on the matchups here in a second. But they asked him, so you're not bringing somebody up, was the question. He said, no, we're at the point now where every game matters, and we're going to pitch the guys whose turn it is. So that would mean that Schwellenbach will pitch Friday, and there's no more guessing games, right? All right, that's great. But what about all the games you gave up down the damn stretch? All the games that you gave up. Because this ain't a video game, man. You can't just say, all right, I'm going to start winning now. This is real games, real baseball. And teams like Colorado, who don't have a prayer of making the playoffs, are still going to go out there and give them their all. You've got to put your best foot forward, and they haven't been doing it because they thought that they would not win the division, but they would win the wild card. And I believe that they were going to cruise to a wild card and probably cruise to the 4 seed, the top wild card, and host the first series in Atlanta. And that would be the ideal thing to do. But they've screwed around now, and now most likely they're going to start on the road if they make the playoffs. And most likely, as of right now, and this ain't even in stone because you got Milwaukee playing really good baseball at this point. But right now, we would be starting at Milwaukee in the first round for 3. Milwaukee, by the way, is just a couple of games behind the Dodgers and the Phillies, who are neck and neck with each other. There's an outside chance we could screw around, end up with the 6th seed, and have to play the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia all 3 games. And you can put the whole damn thing from top to bottom. You screwed around. You played with your food. You didn't worry about going out and getting somebody. You thought you could just, we'll play these games. We're good enough. We'll go out there and get the, if we'll just play 500 ball. You ain't been playing 500 ball. 10 games under 500 the last 44 games. You got, what is it, the 26th best record in baseball since May 1st, I think I saw. So there you have that. All right, done with that rant. Let's look at the series ahead. By the way, Schwellenbach was phenomenal. It's sad and disappointing that Schwellenbach did not get the W yesterday. That's why the W is the most overrated stat in all of sports. Though I still like it. I'll never, I'm an old head, man. I'll never say, well, you'll never hear me intro a game and not give the guy's record. I still think there's something to a guy that goes out there and wins. All right, this series tonight, it's Chris Sale versus Blake Snell. That's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. We'll do the prediction and the pick to click tonight during the broadcast. 9:45 first start, y'all. 9:45. So don't forget that 9:45. Atlanta is. It's going to be 9:45 the next 3 nights, and then Thursday we get it's a 4-game series. Thursday we get. I'm going to double check and make sure they have it. Yeah, 9:45 the next 3 nights, and then 3:45 on Thursday. Goat says he'll be at work. Goat, that's why God made earbuds, buddy. Stick an earbud in, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on, brother. They got those. They got those ones that I found on Amazon that look like. They actually look like their skin tone. Their skin tone. So you're able to go to the. Put them in your ear and nobody's the wiser. Anyways, so tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night, 9:45. Here are the pitching matchups, and these are a little concerning. We got Sale versus Snell. Honestly, I wish Sale was pitching tomorrow night and just let Morton go up against Sale and realize they're going to get the best of you, but you'd have Sale versus so it's Sale versus Snell, and then in game 2 it's Harrison versus Morton. Now Harrison is solid, but he is a guy that you can get to. I guess he's got a 4.08 ERA. He's had some bumpy outings, but here's the deal. That's probably going to be a high-scoring game. Charlie Morton has sucked. He's absolutely just spit the bit. I think the end is inevitable. We know this. You may be wondering about Ian Anderson. They're not going to send him out there this round. So we may see him. There is an outside chance that we'll see him over the weekend. That would be great. Grant Holmes is going to get another start, but I would like to see Ian Anderson. He looks pretty stretched out. I'd like to see Anderson come in and start and then just let Grant Holmes piggyback him. See how far he can get and then piggyback him. That, to me, would be the ideal. But whatever. They may wait until we come back home. Because if you look at it big picture, we're in San Fran for 4, we're in L.A. for 3. If he were to pitch at all this weekend, let's say they decide to hold off and they don't want him to do another rehab start, then he would pitch somewhere Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're probably going to pitch him early this week in the minors and then bring him back. There's a good chance Ian Anderson comes back somewhere during the next homestand. But okay, tonight we're going to be scraping for every run, and hopefully Sale is Sale. Hopefully he comes on like dynamite. The next one, Harrison, we can get to him, but they can get to Morton. Now the one thing about San Francisco, they've been playing good baseball. But realize they're still San Francisco. They're still the Giants. They don't have an electric offense. If the Braves offense can wake up, you can outscore them in a shootout. The next night, it's Robbie Ray versus Grant Holmes. That's a pretty good matchup, and it's honestly a pretty fair matchup because Robbie Ray, who's got electric strikeout stuff, but he typically only goes about 5 innings because he runs his pitch count up. Plus, he's recently coming off of Tommy John. This is only like his 3rd or 4th start back. So they're watching him. I've got him on one of my Dynasty Fantasy teams, and trust me, they watch his pitch count. When he's pitching late, if I'm up editing and whatnot, I'll listen to the San Francisco game. And from my understanding, they don't want him to get anywhere near that 100 mark probably till September, but maybe not even then. So Holmes, who's probably going to go 4 or 5 innings, that's usually when he runs into trouble, runs out of gas. It's pretty fair. And then Thursday, Max Fried has got to get his head out of his rear. Max Fried, I don't care. Oh, it was Colorado. The first time it was Russ. All right, there's no more excuses, Fried. And then most likely it's going to be Schwellenbach on Friday to start the Colorado series, which would take you to Sale and Morton on the weekend. So, what we're looking at of this series, I know that I said at one point going into this 10-game series, I would have preferred for the Braves bare minimum to be 6-4. And I still stand by that. I think anything less than 6-4 on this series, it's going to be you'll live with 5-5 at this point because we dropped the series to Colorado, but you don't want anything worse than that. And I really don't think, even if we sweep the Angels, I don't think we need to be going in and losing this series to San Francisco. Bare minimum, we got to get the split because they are sitting a game and a half behind us. In theory, they could overtake us. But even if they just take 3 or 4 and don't sweep us, they're going to be a half game behind, and not to mention the Mets will probably have catapulted past us because the Mets are at home against Oakland this week and at home against the Marlins. That's not a really good recipe for us to make a lot of ground up. So we're going to have to go out there and hold our own. A split in San Francisco is the bare minimum. And I think it can be done. I mean, ideally, you would hope that Chris Sale can outduel Snell and we win a low-scoring game tonight. And I feel like we've got the upper end. We've got the upper hand in the Max Fried Webb matchup. The only problem with that Thursday outing, Fried versus Webb has pitched really well at home. He doesn't pitch so well on the road, but he pitches really well at home. And he's had some good outings against the Braves. But I'd like to see. So if that is the case, if we can win tonight, and we can hopefully win Max Fried Day, then you're talking about just having to split one of the two between the Morton versus Harrison and Grant Holmes versus Robbie Ray. And if you get one of those, then you can actually win the series. If you can win the series, it'd be phenomenal. If the Braves come out of here and win 3 out of 4 in San Francisco, I'll be on cloud 9. But I will gladly take a split. If you told me right now, McGee, we are going to split this series, I can guarantee you right now, what would you do? I say, we're getting on a plane. We're heading to Los Angeles, take on the Angels on Friday. You can have the split. Let's get out of it. That's not how they do baseball. The Mets, real quick, I just want to give you an idea on the teams that are chasing us. The Mets are at home against Oakland and Miami. We talked about that. Remember, they're having some issues with pitching because Kodai Senga got shut down. So their depth of their pitching stuff. And they're coming off a horrendous. You talk about horrific. I listened to New York radio this morning. They are in the dumps because they got blown out at Seattle this weekend. They scored 1 run. It was a solo shot in the 6th inning last night in a 12-1 loss against the Mariners. The Mariners shut them out Friday night, Saturday night. They got 1 run. So they went 23 innings without scoring a run in that series. Unbelievable. And they've been one of the hotter offenses in all of baseball. So that's who the Mets have up. After that, they're going to come home and they're going to play they'll stay at home, and take on Baltimore for 3. And so you're like, man, they got a 9-game homestand. They're going to be up. But then it gets rough for the Mets. They go to San Diego for 4 and Arizona for 3. That's a 7-game road trip. It's going to be brutal. And then they're going to finish it off with 4 more in Chicago against the White Sox, who aren't a great baseball team at all. But, man, when you get to the end of an 11-game road trip, you can just be throwing some duds out there. The Mets will be very fortunate to come home, and even with 4 games in Chicago, they'll be very fortunate to come home in that 11-game series and be 6-5, 5-6. I guarantee you they would take that right now. And they'll continue to have some tough matchups. They got to host the Red Sox, who are really hot. They play Cincinnati, who's kind of fallen off. But then the biggest thing, they were talking about this this morning. If these games matter to these teams, the last 11 games, 10 games for the Mets is 4 at home against Philly, 3 at Atlanta, and then 3 at Milwaukee. That Atlanta Mets series in late September may be for the whole bag of potatoes. You look at St. Louis real quick. I won't go in so much depth on them, but real quick, they're taking on the Reds early part of this week, and then they come home to face the Dodgers. So we're pulling for the Reds to upend the Cardinals. Arizona, if there's any chance of catching either of the teams that are in front of us, Arizona, they are at home for 3 against Colorado. What? So that's – and Colorado just took us 2 out of 3, but Colorado's a different team when they are in Colorado. This game is going to be in Arizona. Arizona's been hot. San Diego, by the way, they are also at home 3 against Pittsburgh, so go Pirates. And then they'll finish off 3 in Colorado. Hopefully that'll tear up their bullpen too. And there you have that. We will see you tonight. Like I said, we're going to start doing this Country Club live for Country Club members. If you want to see it live, join in. Got to be a Country Club member. Essentially, we've gone long enough doing shows and whatnot where you don't have to be a member to see it live. Going forward, these will be live. Now, you're still going to be able to see the replay, and we'll probably play the replay coming into tonight's game. But you won't be, if you're reacting and whatnot, I hate to tell you, but this is already recorded. So there you go. All right, we'll see you, Country Club. Appreciate y'all being members. And we got a lot more on the way. I got a lot of stuff dialed out that we're going to be doing this fall, even out of baseball season. Real quick, we have nailed it down. We've got a couple of stations that are interested in carrying this live. Once Upon a Pastime series will be on Wednesday nights this fall after baseball season. And what that's going to be, if you've ever heard any of our Once Upon a Pastimes where I've gone into depth of whatever it is in the world of baseball. Could be something historical, maybe something, that's a hot topic, right? Like the designated hitter or something like that. Anyways, we do an entire episode on that. But these are going to be new and different. People are going to be able to react live. Country Club members are going to be able to react live. And then we'll also open up the phone lines at some point if anyone wants to call, or if they just want to put it in the chat, we'll react. And we're going to go over. So in other words, like we might do a deep dive on a certain period of baseball that you may have questions on. And we're also going to let the fans, the listeners, decide where we go. We're going to put up polls during those to say, hey, what do you want to hear next? What do you want to do next? And I think we'll have a lot of fun. Give us a chance to look forward to something on Wednesday nights in the fall, because
you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive, let's see it. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the front of the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball.
Down a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Oracle Park in San Francisco, California, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing left field, imagine that, Jorge Soler, 16 home runs, 50 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .246. Austin Riley, batting second, playing third, 18 home runs, 55 RBI, a .264 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 35 home runs, 90 RBI, a .301 clip. Matt Olson, batting cleanup and playing first. 20 homers, 61 RBI, batting .230. Orlando Arcia, batting fifth and playing short. 11 home runs, 33 RBI, batting .234. Sean Murphy is batting sixth behind home plate. 6 home runs, 13 RBI, .224 average. Ramon Laureano is in center field with 4 home runs, 11 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .204. And Adam Duvall is in right field. He's got 10 home runs, 29 RBI, batting .181. Whit Merrifield is your second baseman and batting ninth. With a .209 average, he has 3 home runs, 14 stolen bases, 12 RBI. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Chris Sale Day. 13-3 with a .275 ERA. The conductor has a shiny 1.00 whip. 127 innings pitched, 98 hits allowed, 165 strikeouts, 30 walks, and 8 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Blake Snell. The 2023 Cy Young Award winner is 2-3 with a 4.31 ERA. A 1.10 whip, 62 innings, 44 hits, 80 strikeouts, 25 walks, and 6 home runs given up. Backing up Snell in the bottom of the first inning, playing short, is Tyler Fitzgerald. He's red hot with a .315 average, 12 home runs, 24 RBI, 12 stolen bases. Batting second, playing first, Mark Kanya. 7 home runs, 41 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .239. Ramos is in center field with 17 home runs and a .284 average. 56 RBI, 4 stolen bases. Matt Chapman is batting cleanup and playing third. He has 19 home runs, 60 RBI, 12 stolen bases, batting .249. Encarnacion is in left field, batting fifth. A .290 average, 1 home run, 5 RBI, a stolen base, and 31 at-bats. Yaz is in right field and batting sixth. He has 9 home runs, 38 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .246. Batting seventh, Luciano, the designated hitter. 1 RBI and a .293 average through 41 at-bats. Patrick Bailey is behind home plate and batting eighth. 7 home runs, 37 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .241. And Schmidt is at second and batting ninth. He has a .174 average with 4 home runs, 8 RBI. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Dan Iasono. First base will be manned by C.B. Buckner. The second base umpire is Adam Beck. And down the third base line, it's Jeremy Riggs. The wind is blowing out of Oracle Park tonight at 11 miles an hour to dead center field. Game time temperatures are expected to be around 60 degrees. Atlanta Braves come in a half game in front of the New York Mets for the last spot in the wild card, 1.5 in front of the San Francisco Giants, 5 over 500. The Giants come in 61-59 on the year. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 105 on the money line. The over-under is 6.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves San Francisco Baseball Giants. Game 1 of a 4-game set. A critical 4-game series for the Braves. Need to at least split and hope for a series win. We got games tonight, 9:45. Tomorrow night, 9:45. And Wednesday night, 9:45. The Thursday getaway game is 3:45 Eastern. We're a sale night, so we've got the conductor emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club. Braves, get your game face on. We got to get this one. Are you kidding me with all this whining I see in the chat? You're all soft.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves country.
29 years it took Atlanta to win their first World Series. 26 years it took them to win their second World Series. We've had heartache, we've had triumph, but they can't kill us, Braves country. Get your freaking game face on. We don't roll over, we fight. We fight. Come on, let's go. We see JS in the chat. We see Charlie Pittman, Mark Ricardo, JC, Brian Andrews, AY, John. We see Gary the Real McCoy in the chat. Kenneth Clark. I haven't seen Kenneth in a while. Good to see you, Kenneth. Brian Andrews, I think I already said. Scrolling through these fast. Cody. We're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Daryl and his other brother Daryl. Razor quack. Quack, quack. Let's go, Braves country. The GOAT is listening. He's at work. He said he'd have the earbud in. We're here to fight tonight. By the way, talking about the tough pitching matchup, could be a higher scoring game because I noticed the wind is blowing out dead center right now, close to 15 miles an hour, so the ball could be carrying. But that means that we've got to be able to score too. We can't just let them score. Braves country, we don't die, we multiply. Let's go. Atlanta Braves are going to be in their road Braves, and we're just about set for pitch by pitch. Yes, sir. It is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way. Blake Snell up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves wearing their road grays, Atlanta across the chest. Blue caps with the white A. The best look in all of baseball. The 1-0 from Snell. Swing, pops it back foul, 1-1. Snell and the Giants are wearing their, we'll call it like an off-white that the Giants wear for their home uniform. Not quite that sparkling white that the Braves wear. Giants across the chest in black outline and orange. Black caps with the SF interlocking in orange. The 1-1. Curveball right there, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Lefty righty, Jorge batting .246 on the year. The pitch in the dirt, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Inside, ball 3, 3-2. The 3-2. Payoff pitch from Blake Snell. Brings it. And raffles it down the line. Foul. Time is called by... They had Dan Isona, but that looks like C.B. Buckner behind home plate. So I think that might have been a mistake. The payoff pitch. Swung on, rifled inside. That'll miss high for ball 4. That is C.B. Buckner for... That is C.B. Buckner behind home plate. So they had the miswritten in the scorecard earlier. So flip that. It'll be Buckner at home. Iasona at third. They all move up. Austin Riley comes in. First pitch on the way. Inside, 95 miles an hour. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty righty. Austin Riley. Kind of went overlooked. His bat got kind of hot over the weekend. The 1-0 pitch. Outside wide, 1-1. That's what you're going to get with C.B. Buckner. You're going to get questionable calls. You're going to get wide calls. C.B. Buckner is always in a hurry to go catch a movie or whatever he's doing after the game. So buckle in for that. The 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Pitchers like Blake Snell, if you're going to get to him, you want to get to him early. Once he gets dialed in, they're hard to get out. The 2-1. Curveball drops in there. Good. Snapping curveball, 2-2. That and his fastball are his two main pitches. You'll see the four-seam 47% of the time. You'll see the curve 26% of the time. Every once in a while, the slider, and he does mix in the change quite a bit. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Riley blew it away. 1 down. .97 miles an hour. See, he likes to lull you to sleep with that curveball and then back it up with the fastball. And he'll do it the other way around, get you to chase. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna, who stands in. 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. Outside wide. It's 1-0. Marcell batting .301. .35 home runs, 90 RBI. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Runner at first. Snell brings it. Swung on, chopped foul on the plate. Once again, that hanger, it's 1-2. The 1-2. Big gaps here in Oracle Park. The 1-2 from Snell. Swung on, chopped down the line, came in with the curveball. We'll do it again. Blake Snell, the 2023, National League Cy Young winner. And he's known, look, he will walk guys, he will pitch around guys. He just refuses to give in. The 1-2 pitch, up high, 2-2. So with that being said, if you're patient, not only can you get walks, you can get his pitch count up. And that would be the goal tonight, would to not swing early, because if you start swinging early, Snell can go deep into the game. The 2-2. Comes set, lets her rip. Curveball caught, looking, strike 3. Ozuna doesn't like it, but you got to swing the bat 2 away. We'll put that one on Kevin Seitzer. Seitzer still continues to not teach the absolute fundamentals of the fact that if you got 2 strikes, you cannot take that pitch. A, it hit the zone, no matter what the hometown broadcast team is telling you. A, it hit the zone, and B, there's 2 strikes. First pitch on the way, 97 up top, it's 0-1. Now, I will say this. C.B. Buckner ranks up there as the worst umpires in baseball. He's kind of taken over the moniker of Angel Hernandez. There's a few other up there that are just as bad that they don't get the publicity. But C.B. Buckner, I'm not defending him. He is terrible. The 0-1. Curveball out wide. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. No, this is a late start tonight, so everyone who's up and awake, we'll try to keep you that way. The 1-1. Curveball looking, 1-2. The 1-2 to Matt Olson, 20 home runs, 61 RBI. It is Snell's 22nd pitch of the inning. Brings it. Chop, swing down the left field line, foul. Just got enough to get a piece of that to stay alive. We'll do it again. That's the thing about Snell. You think about the fact there's about a 25-mile-an-hour difference on his slowest curveball and his fastest four-seamer. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. C.B. Buckner loves to show off on a called third strike, and that'll end the inning. So we get one on, but can't get him across. It's Chris Sale's turn with a big zone here in San Fran.
Next question, gentlemen. What is the one thing the people on the other side of your street have more of than you do? Your wife said they have more grass than you do.
Grass?
I wouldn't bet on that.
It was a homeless woman, wasn't it?
It was a homeless woman, yeah. He said that he had to give his kidnappers $500, so he gave her his credit card to go get him $500 and whatever, because none of it turns out that...
You know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like Allensby got all liquored up and paid a homeless woman $500 to roll around under the bridge with him.
Now they got 2 guys coming out saying that they found him unconscious on the side of a road.
Turned out he wasn't in a wine bar; it was a strip club. So let's say what really happened here. We've all been there.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's been under a bridge with a homeless woman giving her $500. I've been in similar instances, but I'm not going to say I've been there. First of all, it takes a lot less than $500, okay, buddy? It's where you got taken right there from the jump.
But, I want to say one thing in all seriousness. I feel sorry for you people that don't drink. I mean it, because when you wake up in the morning, that's as good as you're going to feel all day.
Roberto Clemente learned his baseball in the cane fields of Puerto Rico, and for all of his major league career, he played spectacularly for a little publicized team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was a savage line drive hitter with a phenomenal throwing arm, proud of his Latin heritage, often plagued by injuries.
Roberto Clemente, he had a certain motion with his neck because he had a bad back. He said his back always hurt. He had a certain motion with his neck. And all of us imitated this motion that he had with his neck. So you see all these kids in school who are doing this because they picked this up from Clemente. You go to bat and you did this head motion. You swung the bat like Clemente.
And then for the Puerto Rican community, he was, their guy, the guy who really gave a lot back.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. San Francisco Giants, the first pitch on the way from the conductor is swung on and fouled straight back. Four-seam fastball, it's 0-1. Tyler Fitzgerald batting .315, 12 home runs. It's kind of a utility knife. He'll play all over the infield, and he has been red hot. He's at shortstop tonight. The 0-1. Swung on, lifted high. Into right center field. A lot of room to roam. Here comes the catch, and my God, Laureano blew another one. Laureano has got to be DFA'd, y'all. He is awful in the outfield. He overran another one. Somehow that guy won a Gold Glove. Laureano was always known for his arm, and when he came up, he was a right fielder. And then he switched over to center field for Oakland. And he's calling everybody off and then overruns it. I mean, there's no excuse. That's Little League. The runner at second, nobody out. First pitch on the way, 95 miles an hour. It's 0-1. And I get it, the wind's whistle in Oracle Park, but that's embarrassing. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Sale just needs to minimize the damage here. The pitch. Swing. Lifts it into center field. And he doesn't charge that one. That'll be a base hit. A ball he probably could have came in on. And Laureano has, no matter what they say in the stat book, he's given up 2 base hits here to start the game. And if we had a manager that had a backbone, he would pull him right now. He would go get Jared Kelenic, say, go take care of center field. I'm done with it. I'm done listening to the analytics. Runners on the corners, nobody out. First pitch on the way from Sale. Swing, chops it foul. It's 0-1. I mean, he overruns the first one, and for those of y'all listening on radio, the second one, he just lets the ball play him. Really looks like he could have came in and made a play on that. Instead, he let it drop in front of him less than 5 feet. The 0-1. Lefty-righty. Brings it. Slider outside. 1-1. The only good news of this is Chris Sale has had some bumpy first innings, and this is not to his fault. This is obviously all Laureano. But he's used to trying to work out of this, so hopefully he can do it again. The 1-1 brings it. Outside wide 2-1, 96 miles an hour. It's rough when you don't have a leader in that clubhouse. And I know I'm a broken record at this point, but the Braves reporters don't hold them accountable. The 2-1. Outside wide. 3-1. So a 3-1 count, and the right-handed Chapman stands on deck. Chris Sale in a big mess here. Not to his fault, but he's still got to work with it. The 3-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss over the top, 3-2. Even if you were to get the double play here, you're willing to give up that run early on. That'll end up being a charged run to Sale, but we all know that should have been an error. You can't put an error on a guy that doesn't touch the ball. The payoff pitch, swung on, chopped foul, just got a piece of that one. We'll do it again. I'm starting to wonder if he even touched that ball. That looked like it just fell out of the glove of Murphy. But the payoff pitch, swung on, chopped it over towards third, and Riley is going to watch it roll foul and scoop it up. Would have scored a run, would have been an infield hit. So a good job by Riley to let that roll. Rolling down the line, and it hit the grass and kicked left. So once again, a payoff pitch. Runners on the corners. I think if he's got an easy out there, he probably scoops that up and gets it and says, to heck with that first run, but that was going to be a tough play. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Conductor rocking and rolling here to get us started.
I don't know who needs.
Here in the bottom of the first. Good pitch by Sale. So runners on the corners, 1 out. A double play gets us out of it. Chris Sale, 12 pitches in. Once again, if you're just joining us, Ramon Laureano with 2 bad defensive plays to start the game have put runners on the corners. Sale gets the first strikeout, the first out of the game. Chapman digs in. The power hitter takes the first pitch at the knees. That was a strike blown by C.B. Buckner. It's 1-0. This is what you get from C.B. Buckner. The 1-0. Swing and a miss over the top. 1-1. 1-1 count. You know, Sicker doesn't want to get kicked out of every game. He ought to just take turns and say, hey, Weiss, it's your turn tonight, man. The first one, you go bonkers on the home plate umpire. The 1-1, swing, pops it back, foul, 1-2. The league will eventually get the point, and they'll eventually start going, what is going on? And I'm not saying the Braves are the only team that needs to do it. The umpire's been awful this year. The 1-2 from Sale. Chapman batting .249, 788 OPS. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. All aboard. Whoa, whoa. Strikeout number 2, out number 2. See, some of y'all missed the intro to the game. Quit being soft. We're a Braves country. We fight. We don't run. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Encarnacion. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Encarnacion, the left fielder. Lefty-righty matchup. Gerard Encarnacion, the pitch. Swing, just got a piece of that 0-2. I swear it seems like there's an Encarnacion slugging outfielder in Major League Baseball for the last 345 years. So an 0-2 count, lefty-righty. The pitch. Swung on, grounded over to third. Riley's got it. Fires it across the diamond. And that's how you get out of the Ramon Laureano disaster. That Ramon needs to knock it off. We're all going to need to be sedated.
I am genuinely upset. I'm legitimately, I'm mad. I'm sad. I am confused. I am shocked and appalled. At what age did the people at the bank decide that I no longer enjoy suckers?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
I got lost in the game. I mean, the ballpark, the people, the color, the sounds, smells. And it's a passion. It's a very, very big part of my life. Sometimes I like to be 11 years old. I like being part of something that's bigger than me. It's good for your soul to invest in something you can't control.
You're a romantic. You have a lyrical soul. You can love under the best and worst conditions.
Everybody's always so quick to tell you that McDonald's is so unhealthy. What about that relationship you in? McStupid.
Clemente batted .414 in the series, hit 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, and led the Pirates to the championship in 7 games. A year later, on September 30th, 1972, he passed yet another milestone in his long career.
Everybody steadily wants Bobby to get that big number 3,000. Matlack on the 0-1. Bobby hits a drive into the gap in left center field. There she is.
That winter, an earthquake hit Nicaragua, and Clemente volunteered to carry relief supplies to the victims. On New Year's Eve, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. His body was never found.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1. You know, the other option they have, because you do have a left-hander on the mound, you may be going, man, I don't know if I want to put Kelenic against a nasty left-hander. The 0-1, up and in, 1-1. You could always leave Kelenic on the bench for later and go put Eli White in there. He can cover some ground out there. The 1-1, swung on, chopped over towards third. It's going to be a tough play by Chapman, but he's got it. 5-3 put out. 1 away. Oh, they're saying that ball rolled foul. All right, so we got a second life there. That was a late call. It did look like it went foul, but because they let it play out, I thought that they were calling it. But no, it's a 1-2 count, so second life there for Orlando Arcee. He'll be given time to go back up there. Laureano will probably take his time out, too, to kind of regain his breath. Yeah, that ball definitely kicked foul. The 1-2. Swing, chop swing. Kind of a half chop swing. Fouls it down the first base side this time. We'll do it again. Sean Murphy standing on deck. Braves nothing, Giants nothing. If you're just joining us, we'll take that as a win. Because of defensive blunders in the outfield by Laureano, the Giants had runners on the corners and nobody out. The 1-2. Just got a piece of that. We'll do it again. So 1-2 count. Sean Murphy standing on deck. Yeah, I mentioned in the break in the chat, talking about folks wanting Snicker fired and whatnot. He's going to be 70 next October. He may just step down. The 1-2 in the dirt. Did he go around? They checked down the side. He did not. 2-2. So if nothing else, Arcee's making him work. Blake Snell, by the way, is about to throw his 30th pitch. And when you consider that he hasn't been off the IL very long, he could have a short leash. The 2-2, swing, just got a piece of it. We'll do it again. Standing on deck is Murphy. And if you wonder why Murphy in the line, not Darno, has been hitting well, Murphy has owned Blake Snell in his career. He's 3 for 4 with the home run. The 2-2, chase that one out of the zone. Strike 3. 1 down. Once again, at least Arcee was up there fighting. I don't think he realized that C.B. Buckner was saying that he was foul tipped. But then Arceus took his arm out there to get tagged. I do not like that, and that's the kind of non-fight that this team has. First pitch up and in. For a ball, it's 1-0. He has no fear of tomorrow getting called in the office and go, why'd you stick your arm out, son? Drop the bat and go run. You never know. The 1-0 up top, high and out of the zone. called for a CB strike. It's 1-1. So a great at bat in one hand, but in the other hand, I really didn't like the fact he literally stuck his hand out so the catcher could tag him. The 1-1 outside wide 2-1. For those on radio who can't see it, I mean, what I mean by that is he's walking towards the dugout. He stuck his right arm out very slowly so that the catcher could tag him and call him out, not have to throw down to first. What? The 2-1 swing pops it up back behind home plate. Bailey, the hind catcher, had a trouble fighting it first, but he'll make the catch. 2 away. Two down. Here comes the bad news bear, Ramon Laureano. How many gaffes has he had in his very short career in Atlanta? You think about the base running mistake that he had against the Mets, where he thought there was a squeeze on. There was no squeeze. The first pitch, swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. In that same game, he overran a fly ball in right field that lost the game. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1. If you remember, it was extra innings. If he makes the catch, we go to the next extra inning in case instead he overruns it. The 1-1, down and in, 2-1. And then tonight, he overruns that one, plus he lets the other one short hop in front of him. And remember, the diving Soler is the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fisted back up the mound, just past the mound, making a charging play as the second baseman, Schmidt. He flips it to Kenya, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. We'll go back to the bottom of the second and hope for the best in the outfield.
I just saw one of my local crackheads, and he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, got one for you." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "I'll huff, I'll puff, and I'll steal all your stuff."
The real question is, brunette crazy, redhead crazy, or blonde crazy? Oof.
Oh, brunette crazy.
Those are completely different kind of crazies. Because redhead crazy is like, will ruin your life, but will be the best bouncing time you've ever had in your life.
Blonde crazy.
Will ruin your life, but will also blast the car into the side of an 18-wheeler going...
That's because she's in her damn Barbie Jeep and doesn't understand what curbs are.
Brunette crazy is the kind where you wake up and she's standing over you with a Bowie knife and you're like, "What are you doing?" And she just says, "Don't worry about it." You do exactly the opposite. You worry about
everything.
Turn off for me, can't swim. I mean, the earth is 80% water. So if there's a tsunami and you trying to get on my back, bye, I'm doing me. I ain't your floaty. I ain't nobody floaty.
The legality of Major League Baseball's controversial reserve clause is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. The case involves the trade of Curt Flood from St. Louis to Philadelphia. That case for Flood is being argued.
It was so difficult for the fans to understand my problems with baseball.
Also today,
I was telling my story to deaf ears because I was telling my story to a person who would give their firstborn child to be doing what I was doing. And he just could not understand how there could be anything possibly wrong with baseball.
For nearly 3 years, Curt Flood had been in the courts, fighting a one-man battle with Major League Baseball over the reserve clause. Despite the advice of the Players Union, he had left the game in 1969 rather than be traded against his will.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Yastrzemski is banged down the right field line, just foul. It's 0-1. That ball was getting out in a hurry. Like I said, just before game time, the wind picked up, and it is whipping out towards right, now almost right center field. The 0-1. Changeup misses inside, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Comes set, lets her go, chops it foul in between third and home, 1-2. Mike Yastrzemski the grandson of the great Yaz of the Boston Red Sox in the 1970s, batting .246 on the year. 33 years old, from Andover, Maryland. The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike three. The conductor, he's got it rolling. One away. That's his third strikeout. Struck out the first two for outs in the top of the first after the bases were, Giants had runners on the corners and nobody out. First pitch on the way to Luciano is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, designated hitter Marco Luciano, 95 out wide, 1-1. I would think if they've got a Giants cast out there, someone's got to be calling this guy lucky. The 1-1 count. Changeup misses again, 2-1. Luciano is 22 years old, from the Dominican. It's his first year up in the bigs. Well, actually, it's the second with San Francisco, is the 2-1. Outside for a outer cut, it's 2-2. He did get a handful of bats in 2023 when the rosters expanded. The 2-2 brings it. Swung on, chops it over towards third. Riley's got it goes underneath his glove, and that's going to be an infield single. Riley knew he was going to have to hurry. Luciano's got pretty good speed. I don't think he gets him. He had a long way to go. Riley and the Braves are playing way back, almost on the outfield grass. And the ball, it started chopping, then it just flattened out, and it rolled right underneath them. Once again, I don't know if he's going to get him there, but they may give him an error anyways. First pitch on the way, swung on, fouled down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Oh, that's interesting. They did give an error to Laureano in the first. The 1-1, fouled straight back. 0-2. It's strange because you're technically are not supposed to give an error, but they gave an error. They did not reward Fitzgerald with the base hit. He did not touch that ball, so that's, in theory, that's probably going to get overturned, but nonetheless. The 0-2 to Bailey, the number 8 hitter, the pitch, caught, looking strike three. He got caught watching the paint dry, 96 right down the track to away. The conductor brought that gas. Number 4 on the night. That'll bring the number 9 hitter, Schmidt. He's batting 174 on the year. Lefty-righty, first pitch. Slider at the knees. Just over the caps, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Yeah, it was for the one that he overran. The 0-1. Down and in, 0-2. But technically, that's not an error, because technically, if you don't touch the ball, they don't give errors for that. That's just the way it is in the rule book. So it will probably get overturned, if not tonight, by tomorrow. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. Because all of these errors and hits, they go in as official at the end of the game, but they do have the right to overturn them the next day and whatnot. But as far as like for the betting sake in the betting world, that wouldn't apply. But as far as the overall records, it would. The 1-2, chopped it over to third. This time Riley's got it, fires it over to first, and that'll end the inning. 5-3 put out, and the Braves head to the top of the third. Duvall, the ice cream man, and a little Solar power here in San Fran.
I know that violence is not the answer, but yes, it is.
Let me get this straight. I can go to the grocery store and buy a pound of sliced ham in a plastic bag, a loaf of bread in a plastic bag, a gallon of milk in a plastic jug, a pack of napkins in plastic wrap, a store-made salad in a plastic tub, plastic bottles with ketchup or mustard, but they won't give me a plastic bag to carry it home in because the plastic bag is bad.
Girls that eat pickles and like thoroughly enjoy eating them, and I'm not talking about like on a burger or anything, but like pickles from a pickle jar, they're always hot. Like, what's with it with hot girls and pickles? I don't understand you.
What I told him was that I agreed with him in principle, but that the courts had treated players as property and would likely do so again, and that his attempt, while a principled one, was, I thought, doomed to failure. And I worried about his knowing the kinds of chances he was taking, that he was going to end his career in a case that probably was a loser.
The lawyers for the major leagues would not talk for the cameras, but in the courtroom they argued that the reserve clause is essential to the future of organized baseball, that without the reserve clause, all the rich teams would get all the star players. But Arthur Goldberg maintains that the reserve clause, tying a player to one team for the rest of his life, is in violation of the 13th Amendment. That's the amendment against slavery and indentured servitude.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Carrie says, why is it when I show up, Duvall's at the plate? Maybe it's a sign that you should move to Jacksonville, Florida. That's all I know. Atlanta Braves will head to the dish in a tie ball game here in the third inning. Duvall is coming to the plate. Kelenic getting the night off. I mean, look, they've all been struggling, but mainly because you don't want Kelenic, who's been scuffling as bad as he has offensively. You don't want him going up against the left-hander Snell. It just put him into more of a mess. First pitch on the way to Duvall. Swing and a miss up top. It's 0-1. I was hoping they were going to go with Eli White in center field, but they didn't, and it almost cost us. It still may. The 0-1. Curveball right there. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. The other thing, Brian, you were asking about the rules of on the errors and whatnot. The player also has the right to appeal post game. Now he might be so embarrassed by that he's not going to appeal it, but the 0-2 swing pops it up high down the line, bending, just out of play. 0-2. But the player that is charged with the error does have the ability to appeal, and that was ratified in the collective bargaining agreement 30 years ago, maybe. It doesn't come up very often. The 0-2 brings it in the dirt. 1-2. Curveball missed. Probably bounced about 55 feet. The 1-2 count. Yeah, hopefully, if Sales got his choice, no balls are going to the outfield the rest of the night. He has seen enough. He's like, we're either striking them out or they're going to bang them on the ground. I'm done with blessing around this outfield defense. The 1-2 brings it. Swung on, chops in front of the mound. Easy comebacker. 1-3 put out, 1 away. We're expecting a pitcher's duel tonight, and that's what we're getting so far. The over-under tonight was 6.5, and to give y'all an idea of what Vegas thinks, what is considered a low-scoring game, the over-under is 7.5. your average is about 8.5. First pitch on the way to Whit Merrifield, swung on and hit high and deep into center field, but I don't think the wind's going to carry it to away. Man, he got a good swing on that. Whit Merrifield is now 7 for 15 lifetime against Blake Snell with the home run. He must see the ball out of his hand well. Jorge Soler comes back to the dish. He walked the first time up. The only base runner for Atlanta. First pitch, curveball at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Down and away. 1-1. 1-1 count. Snell brings it high and out of the zone. 2-1. Four-seam fastball that was about eye high and over the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. Snell has lowered his pitch count a little bit. He's now at just 49 pitches. So he's, after a really long first inning, he kind of straightened up towards the bottom of the second. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3-2. So the 3-2 count. Good purpose pitch there for Snell. He would have liked the call, but it was just in off the plate. If he starts getting that call, he's going to be impossible to hit. And the payoff pitch, ball 4. So Jorge Soler will head on down to first. And we've got runner at first, 2 outs. And Austin Riley coming to the plate. First pitch on the way. Change-up, swing and miss. It's 0-1. Snell comes set. Lets her rip. Swing, fists it back foul. 0-2. He's really coming in hard on those right-handers, trying to get them to prevent them from extending their arms. Good news on the wild card front. The Reds beat the Cardinals. So a team that was right on our heels, they get a loss tonight. The 0-2. Inside, 1-2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's really busting them in on the right-handers. Other games of interest in the National League wild card. Pirates and Padres are tied at 0 in the 4th. Rockies and Diamondbacks are 1-1 in the 4th. The 1-2. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep into center field, but it looks like it's going to hold it. He hit it to about the deepest part of the park, and it'll die at the warning track. Braves threaten but can't get him across. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said get off your phone. We're watching a show.
Do you get off your phone whenever I'm watching football on the weekends?
But this is different. We're trying to spend quality time together.
Well, we could spend quality time together watching football if you weren't on your phone, so it seems like a little bit of a double standard.
Well, at least on our TV shows, we don't know what's going to happen, but when we watch the Cowboys, I feel like the same thing happens every year.
Got him! Got him!
Armchair.
World Series chance for the first time since 1995. I'm going to take a quick break to pour me a drink, by God, and then I'll meet y'all here. Anyone who wants to hang out and celebrate, we're going to keep this feed going. And let it get it, baby! It's about damn time!
Flood's first trial had been in federal district court in Manhattan in 1970.
I think Curt Flood on the stand was treated miserably by the federal judge. He almost taunted him. A judge who showed great respect for almost all witnesses. From the bench, the judge asked Curt Flood, this is not as easy as playing center field, is it? With a sarcastic tone in the middle of a difficult cross-examination.
No active player dared testify on his behalf. Only owner Bill Veeck and a handful of retired stars came to Flood's defense.
Welcome back. Chris Sale begins the bottom of the third with a slider. I guess it was a touch in to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Fitzgerald. It's 0-1. 1-0. The 1-0 hit high into right field. Fitzgerald's running fast. You know someone might screw that up. Coming in, making the catches, Duvall, one away. Yeah, Mark, that was a great night when we won it all. I kept the chat up for a while that night. We ended up having editing some of it out. There were some curse words flying. First pitch on the way to Kanya. Is up top, misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Dodgers, by the way, lead the Brewers 5-2 in the ninth. The 2-0. Swing. Fouls it straight back. Mark Kanya sounds familiar. Well, he should. We see him everywhere. He follows us around. Mark Kanya, in the last few years, has played with the Mets, the Brewers, Detroit, and San Francisco, and we have faced him with those teams every single time. The 2-1, nice slider, slips it in there on the outer edge, 2-2. Before that, he was best known as an Oakland A. Since 2015 to about 2021, he was an Oakland A, and he came over to the Mets in 22, and then we saw him constantly. It really is unbelievable that we haven't missed him. The 2-2, check swing, just back behind home plate. We'll do it again. When he was brought over to the Mets, he was looked upon as a guy that you brought in. It's kind of ironic that he ends up back over at San Francisco because they ended up bringing in Darren Ruff, who was a left-hander, and Kanya and Ruff were supposed to be the righty-lefty platoons in left field, and it never worked out in New York. The 2-2, swung on, hammered over to third. Leaping catch by Austin Riley. 2 away. Great defensive leaping grab. Last year, when the Mets got out of it, they kicked Kanya to the curb at the deadline. The first pitch on the way to Ramos, swung on, chopped over to short. Here comes Arcia. Then the Magic Kingdom fires it to first, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Ozuna, Olsen, and Arcia coming to the plate.
Unlucky. Yeah. Man, I love the way y'all use that word over here. Back home, if a team was playing poorly, we don't call them unlucky. What do we call them, Coach? New York Jets. There it is.
Hey, Braves Country. This is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
We're doing 21 miles today for my 21st birthday.
Well, on my 21st birthday, I couldn't walk 21 feet. Huh? I got up.
I think that's maybe what was wrong with me still to this day. All right, my 21st. I woke up with a football helmet, a woman's thong, and a flip-flop. I still don't know what happened. On my 21st birthday, one of my buddies on himself. Huh? He was quiet all night, and he was sitting on the couch. He said, I got 3 minutes later, he didn't say a word after that, but 3 minutes later, he said, I don't got no more. But happy birthday to you.
Flood lost in district court and then lost again in the Court of Appeal. And on June 18, 1972, by a vote of 5-3, the United States Supreme Court ruled against him. Baseball was still exempt from antitrust laws, and the reserve clause still stood.
I am particularly pleased that the court has recognized the need for a reserve system and has further recognized that baseball has not disregarded the extremely important position the player occupies. Over the long history of baseball, the reserve system has constantly evolved to improve the position of the player. I am confident that this process will continue.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer edge. It's 0-1 to Marcell Ozuna. The 0-1. Lefty-righty. Pitch on the way. 95, way outside wide, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Lets her go. Chases that one, strikeout. Curveball in the dirt. One away. I don't think Ozuna's picking that pitch up very well out of Snell's hand. He's looked pretty lost in the first 2 at-bats. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is swung on, hit up the middle. Right into the teeth of the defense. Going to be an easy 6-3 put out, 2 down. Played right in the hands of the Giants in the defense. Two down. Orlando Arcia, who battled his first time up, takes the first pitch, curveball at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. 96 up top. 1-1. Snell has really corralled his pitch count now. He's back down to 61. Which at that pace, it'll take him into about the 7th inning if they don't get it going. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Snell has yet to give up a base hit. They're going to go out there and talk to Snell real quick. It looks like it's just Bailey and him going over probably a scouting report is what I would guess Bailey's out there to talk to him about. Remember they have changed that to just 5 mound visits an entire game. It was 6 when they first came into the rule back in 2020, and now it has been whittled down to 5. So not that they're in a real threat there, but that does play into it if you have a young catcher that keeps going out there. The 2-1 pitch, check swing, might have chased one off the edge, but it'll go foul 2-2. The 2-2 from Snell brings it. Curveball in the dirt. Ball gets away. Arcia kind of lazily jogs down the base paths. And they flip it to first. And that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Chapman, Encarnacion, and the Yaz coming to the plate.
Hey, Dad, what's one piece of advice you'd give to somebody?
Don't have kids.
All right, then.
Wait, what'd you say?
I know you're watching football all day, so I'm gonna go get you some more beer and make some wings for lunch. And I was also thinking that we could hang that TV outside so you could have 2 games at once. Why are you crying?
It's just the first time that you've said that you've loved me in a while.
Where are you from?
What?
Where are you from?
What are you talking about?
Where are you from?
You know where I'm from.
The folks want to know.
Oh, you're doing a question?
Yeah. Come talk to these folks.
All right, I'll tell them.
We are from West Georgia, near the Alabama line. We're a little bit classy and a little bit trashy. I probably have some family members that have dual roles. Do you know what that means? A cousin, maybe an uncle. Yep. I just had one locked up because they were mixing up chemicals in their motorhome. Look how she's looking at me. Don't be hating on your family.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is Friday, and to most blue-collar workers, that means nothing at all, because we got to go to work on Saturday.
We lost because my guys, my colleagues didn't stand up with me. And I can't make any excuse for them. Had we shown any amount of solidarity, if the superstars had stood up and said, we're with Curt Flood, if the superstars had walked into the courtroom in New York and made their presence known, I think that the owners would have gotten the message very clearly, given me a chance to win that.
Curt Flood never played Major League Baseball again.
Welcome to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Chris Sale is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. Chapman, who's 0 for 1 for the day. The 1-0. Change up outside wide. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, slices it down the line, 2-1. Hit the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-2. Twins beat the Royals 8-3. Astros over the Rays 6-1, and the Reds beat the Cardinals 6-1. The Guardians beat the Cubs 9-8. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss up top, four-seam fastball, blew it right by him, 2-2. All those games were finals. Padres and Pirates are tied 0-0 in the fifth. Rockies lead the Diamondbacks 3-1 in the fourth. Break up Colorado. The 2-2. Outside wide, 3-2. Blue Jays 4-1 over the Angels. White Sox pounding the Yankees. And Luis Gil tonight, 11-2 in the 8th. They're dragging them. The 3-2. Caught looking. Check swing. Strike 3. Tried to pull up, but it didn't matter. He went around. One away. Rangers and Red Sox, by the way, are in extra innings. In the 10th inning, it is 4-4. And the Red Sox, I would think the Red Sox are going to win this. I just realized it's bottom of the 10th, 4-4, and the Red Sox have the bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch on the way to Encarnacion is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 94 below the knees. 1-1. 1-1 count. You think the Braves are in dire straits and a couple other teams. The defending World Series champion Texas Rangers are 8 games out of first place in the NL West, and I don't think they're going to be able to qualify for the wild card. The 0-1 hit the top of the zone. Buckner blew another call, 2-1. The 2-1. They set up inside to the right-hander. The lefty brings it. Slider, that one's about the same spot. Called for a strike, 2-2. 2-2 count. Comes set, turns, and fires. Rifles it foul down the line. We'll do it again. Chris Sale, by the way, he's at 55 pitches here in the fourth. The 2-2 to the number 5 hitter. Pitch, swung on, chops it over towards second. On it is Whit Merrifield. He flips it over to first. 4-3 in your scorecard. 2 away. Two down. First pitch on the way, lefty-lefty matchup to the Yaz is a slider outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Sale brings it, snaps it right there on the outer edge with the slider, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Giants nothing. Bottom of the fourth. The 1-1 pitch is dragged foul down the first base side. It's 1-2. Really feels like the first team to 1 or 2 may win this one. Braves are hoping bare minimum for a split here in San Francisco. You'd love to win the series, but in a 4-game series. Boston did win that game against Texas, by the way. The 1-2. Slice foul down the line. We'll do it again. I would love to have Joey Cora. Joey Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, he does more with less every single year. He just signed an extension with the Red Sox a few weeks ago, so there's no chance of that happening now. He might be one of the most underrated managers in all of baseball. The 1-2. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Once again, the conductor rolling along. He's got 6 strikeouts. We'll be back in a flash. All aboard. Whoa, whoa.
I don't know who needs to hear this today, but whatever you're going through is going to get better. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, but it will eventually get better, or it won't. You know, you may be...
The home Met team waving their outfielders in. Here's Rick Camp with a game on the line. 2 outs and no one on base.
Well, they could go to another pitcher, but in 18 innings, they've used just about everybody.
No, the only 3 guys left are Bedrosian, Perez, and Zane Smith. There's a strike 0-2.
So they researched that, and they figure that Camp is the best hitter of the 3 left.
It'll be an 0-2 pitch. And he is at the deep left. Heat goes back. It is gone. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Rick Camp. Rick Camp. I don't believe it. That certifies this game as the whack wild, most improbable game in history.
Nobody can believe it. Camp makes it 11-11, his first Major League homer.
I mean, unbelievable.
There was a time, according to Jim Lefevre, when he was playing with the Dodgers, and they had the great pitching staff, particularly Koufax and Drysdale. And they were sitting around early in the season going down the whole National League. And they were trying to figure out how to pitch to these guys. And they'd say, Banks, well, pitch to Banks this way. And Mays, pitch to him that way. And Eddie Matthews, low and away. They finally came to, someone said, Henry Aaron. Dead silence in the Dodgers clubhouse. And finally a voice piped up and said, make sure there's no one on when he hits it out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is laced down the left field line. Just foul. It's 0-1. Sean Murphy hit his first at bat, hit a pretty good one into the outfield, just couldn't get it past the defense. But he is coming into tonight's game. He was 3 for 4 lifetime versus Snell with a home run. So for whatever reason, he sees the ball well out of Snell's hand. Most folks don't. That's why he got the 2023 Cy Young. The 0-1. They set up inside. Swing and a miss over the top. Slider. 0-2. An 0-2 count. Snell comes set and brings it. Swing, chops it foul. You could make the argument, especially over the past, you consider what Snell did last year, throw away his first few outings this year. The 0-2, in the dirt, good take, 1-2. And what Chris Sale has done so far this year, and the way Snell's really been rolling his last 3 or 4 outings, I guess 5 outings now, 6 counting tonight. You might be looking at the 2 best left-handers in baseball. Definitely the 2 best left-handers in the National League. Scooble would have a good argument for all of baseball. The 1-2 inside, 96, close shave, 2-2. When Blake Snell hit the free agent market in the offseason, is the 2-2 pitch. Inside, 96, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Snell has yet to give up a hit. He did walk Soler a couple of times. He's always been willing to give up those walks as opposed to the hits. The payoff pitch. Swing, fouls it back. Chase that one out of the zone. Murphy knows it, 3-2. When Snell became a free agent, he waited it out. Scott Boras is an agent, and he did not sign until late March, early April. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Wore him down with that slider, 1 away. Good at bat by Murphy, though. So as opposed to a long-term contract that he was hoping to get coming off a Cy Young year, he got a 3-year deal at a high AAV with an opt-out. So he can opt out if he wants at the end of this year. First pitch on the way to Laureano is a 79-mile-an-hour curveball outside wide. It's 1-0. I would suspect, unless he's injured, he will opt out and go into the free agent market with a different mindset this year. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped foul. 1-1. I think he'll go to that free agency to be ready to sign much earlier. Boras got released by a lot of big-name free agents. The 1-1, swing, fouls it back, 1-2. He was amazing in Tampa. He was amazing, he's been amazing everywhere he's been. I've never been a Blake Snell fan because of the kind of person he is. He's kind of a doofus and a goober. I don't know if we still have that sound bite from him during the pandemic, the 1-2, in the dirt, 2-2. But if you ever heard the one where he's talking about, yo, man, play for the love of the game. Man, I got to get mine. I got to get paid. That's Blake Snell. That's it. That's his club. He was talking about during the pandemic, he didn't want to play unless he got all of his money. Meanwhile, people were out of work during the pandemic. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Snell once again with another no-hitter into the 5th. That is his 8th strikeout. We have 14 strikeouts altogether tonight. This is why Vegas had the over-under at just 6.5. It may have been a touch high. I think a lot of people will probably hit the under on it. First pitch on the way to Duvall. 96 on the outer edge. It's 1-0. Did he call that a strike? Good Lord. A CB strike makes it 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. A lot of free agents are moving away from Boris because, A, it feels like he's getting blackballed because of the antics that he pulls in negotiations. He pits teams against each other to rise up the price, and they're starting to catch on and say, you know what, the 0-2 in the dirt, 1 and 2. They're starting to get to the point where they're saying, you know what, if you're with Boris, we're going to give you an offer, but we're not going to continue to negotiate because it's just not worth it. The 1-2, Snell kicks and fires. Caught looking, strike 3. Duval, you got to swing the bat, son. We'll be back in a flash. Braves, Giants, 0-0, bottom 5.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to town?
Yeah, it's back the way you came.
Hey, Braves fans, Braves baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac Magee, and I'll be bringing you Braves baseball play-by-play for the Braves fans out there, for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves country baseball, first pitch to last pitch, all season long, right here.
White people, I want to have a conversation with y'all because y'all have really pissed me off. Where are the new rock bands? Like when I was growing up, we had Green Day. Y'all keep trying to twerk. That's the problem. We need some headbangers. Like what happened to all the garage bands? I ain't met a white dude in like 10 years that said him and his band. That just randomly brings up his band. Do y'all not do that anymore? Well, all the skater boys want to be DJs and rappers and producers. What is going on? White people, I say this because I care. Stop rapping. Bring back the rock bands. We didn't even judge y'all because the singer really could never sing. We never judged y'all because the music was that good. Can we please have that back?
Armchair.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
Now is Henry Aaron. Here's a pitch to Aaron. All game in the 7th inning. The Cardinals lead 3-0. Here's a pitch to Henry Aaron. There's a drive way back. It's out on the Green Avenue in right center. Tremendous home run. Hit the light tower out there. Holy cow, did he kiss that ball. There's his 42nd home run of the year. His 126th run batted in. Oh, did he hit that ball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work. The first pitch on the way. Right there for a strike to Luciano, the number 7 hitter. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sale brings it. Slider out wide. 1-1. Blake Snell is sitting at 81 pitches. Chris Sale now at 63. Should be noted when Snell threw the no-hitter, he threw 114 that night. The 1-1, down and in, 1-2. Now, I don't believe they would let him go that deep tonight unless the no-hitter was on the line. Even then, that may be a big question mark because he's already thrown a no-hitter. This isn't something, but it would be cool for him to do 2 in 1 year. I get that. The 1-2. Sale brings it. Slider down and away, 2-2. It's funny. Who was it? Mark? Yeah, Mark was saying earlier. I didn't get a chance to respond to it. When Mark was talking about benching Arcia. I think if it was left up to me and Mark, we'd run out of players by around the 4th inning. The 2-2. Swing, that ball's hammered over to third. Riley makes a dive and attempt. The throw. Got him! He didn't get any mustard on that. In fact, there was any relish or ketchup or nothing. He had to dive, throw it from his knees, and didn't get a good throw, didn't get a good grip on it. It dribbled over to Olsen, and Olsen held the bag and just got him. It's a 3-hopper into the glove. Almost like a Bernie Kosar submarine type throw because he was spinning from his knee. Great play, Riley. 2 great plays tonight. Really 3 if you could think about the play down the third base line that he let go foul. If he would have charged that would have been a run. The 1-0 to Bailey, 94 at the knees, 1-1. Bernie Kosar was a quarterback for the Browns, Kerry. He didn't play for the Reds. The 1-1. Down and in, 1-2. The NFL quarterback, 1980s. Had a sidearm delivery. They didn't want to draft him out of Miami because of it. The 1-2 swung on, hit high down the line. Cleveland took a chance, and he actually had a decent career. In fact, his teams were the ones that were the Heartbreak Browns in the 80s. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike three. 96-mile-an-hour gas on the inner cut, 2 away. Browns are in Cleveland, Kerry, not Cincinnati. I think Kerry might be turning up the bottle tonight. First pitch on the way, 96 on the inner cut. It's 0-1. It's good to see you, Kerry, though. The 0-1. If you remember the games. Hot shot, back up the mound. Sale makes a catch. It was really self-defense. He spins, comes to his feet. That'll end the inning. He gets up with a grin on his face like, holy cow. Let me change my shorts. We'll be back in a flash.
So I told my psychiatrist I was hearing voices in my head. He said I don't have a psychiatrist.
I'm going to UCLA because my wife went to UCLA Med School. Shout out, Tran, you completely hold. That's her last name. That's her last name. Relax, ESPN. How dare you?
Armchair.
Is you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Is you crying?
Go on, leave me alone. You know I'm watching the game. No, I'm not crying.
I told you they was finna lose. I don't know why you acting like this.
Why is you talking about my business? Why is you talking about my business? They cheated, though. They cheated. They cheated. When they lose, don't talk to me for the rest of the week. Why is you bothering me?
Whoa, what about the wristbands? You act like they finna throw you in the game to save the last couple of points for you.
Would you leave me alone? Would you leave me alone?
You don't even cry for me like this.
I only known you for 2 months. It's been my team for 22 years.
It is especially fitting that today, in the midst of baseball's most exciting event, the World Series, we pause to honor Jackie Robinson.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I would just like to say that I was really just a spoke in the wheel of the success that we had some 25 years ago. I would like to also say that I would be a real pleasure if Mr. Rickey could have been here with us today, but to the members of the family, my entire love and gratitude for the things that he's done over the years. And I also want to say how pleased I am that my family can be here this afternoon. Thank you very much.
First pitch on the way from Blake Snell to Merrifield, who really laid into one his first time up. It's 0-1. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. The 1-1, lefty righty, Snell brings it. 85 just misses down and away, 2-1. Brian says glad Sale is on it tonight. I'm glad Sale didn't die. That was a bullet that was shot back to the mound, and he threw up his glove, and a wing and a prayer made the catch. The 2-1, down and in, ball 3-3, and when you'd love to get Merrifield aboard, could really disrupt Snell's release points. First couple of times, the only other base runners have been Soler, and he's not a threat to steal. The 3-1. It's change up on the outer edge, 3-2. Jorge Soler playing left field tonight. What's it only been 2 weeks I've been talking about putting him in left field? They finally did it. The payoff pitch. High and out of the zone, ball 4. I think that one just slipped out of his hands. We'll take it. Runner on first. Nobody out. The top of the order coming up. Jorge Soler. He's walked his first 2 times up. Lefty-righty matchup. Snell kicks and fires. Runner goes already. Are you kidding me? They got him. He is down and out. Good Lord, Merrifield. I mean, that's a way to kill a rally. Goes on the very first pitch he sees. And it was a fastball. He was hoping he was timing it up with a curveball, but I think you got to wait to get farther into the. And once again, you got to have a talk with them there. First pitch on the way after the throw out is a ball down and away. It's 2-0. You got to have a talk with him. Say, look, man, Soler's on at the plate. The 2-0. Swing, chops it foul. 2-1. You basically are taking the bat out of his hand. Wasn't a great jump. There's a terrible pitch to go on. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Curveball over the top. 2-2. And they'll try to spin it however they want, but that is definitely coaching because the manager can tell you stay. And that's just not the way he runs it. The 2-2. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Chase that one out of the zone. Should be an easy catch. It is. Shortstop Fitzgerald in shallow left field, 2 down. But with a runner on first and nobody out, you got to make Snell grind through that at bat with Soler. You come off the base pass, you've just made his life 1,000% easier. Disappointing decision by Merrifield. First pitch to Austin Riley is up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Snell at 94 pitches. That's the other thing. You're creeping him up there on the pitch count. At some point, you got to understand that they don't want him to go forever. The 1-0 up top, misses high, but it's a CB strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. It really changes the story of the inning. Because you never know what he's going to do with Soler if you're standing there at first. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. I just feel like you at least got to wait until Soler has 2 strikes. When he has 2 strikes, you're more likely to get that curveball. And at that point, if you want to go then, I don't have a problem with it. If you get thrown out, you get thrown out on a curveball, that's fine. But the first pitch, the 2-2, swing, fist it back foul, we'll do it again. The 2-2 count. Braves have yet to get in the hit column. They've gotten 3 walks. The 2-2 to Riley. In the dirt. Did he go around? They're going to say he did. I don't know about that one. First base umpire. They screwed up the lineup, so I'm assuming the first base umpire is Adam Beck. He said he went around. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. It's been the story of the night. We'll be back in a flash.
Like 7 years ago, I hit my hand on a chop saw blade. It was slowing down. There was no guard on the chop saw. So I hit my hand on it as it was slowing down. It took a big old chunk out of my hand after it got stitched up and it healed and the stitches got taken out. This showed up and I started freaking out. It's cancer. They're going to have to amputate. I'm going to die. And after the nurse stopped laughing at me and caught her breath. She she informed me that it's just scar tissue.
It's whiskey.
Smells awful.
Well, all whiskey smells awful.
Then why do people drink it?
Well, it's like when grown-ups have a party. They drink it to have a good time.
Gee, if it's a party, don't they have a good time anyway?
Well, grown-ups have a harder time having a good time than kids do.
I don't know who needs to hear this today, but stop grounding your kids from their online games. Log into those games and get them banned.
25 years after his historic debut, Jackie Robinson agreed to throw out the first ball of the 1972 World Series. He was just 53, but diabetes had dimmed his sight. Heart disease had slowed his step. Jackie Robinson died 10 days later. In his autobiography published after his death, Robinson recalled playing in his first World Series game. There I was, the black grandson of a slave, the son of a black sharecropper, part of a historic occasion, a symbolic hero to my people. But I must tell you that it was Mr. Ricky's drama and that I was only a principal actor.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work. First pitch on the way, 77 mile an hour. Off the edge for a ball, it's 1-0. The 1-0 comes set, kicks and fires right there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. Sale flips that slider. That ball's roasted down the left field line, but just foul. 1-2. That would have been trouble. Probably would have been a two-base hit, although the ricochet did come back to Soler pretty quick. The 1-2. Comes set. Swing, chops it down the line. We'll do it again. Yeah, Brian, welcome to Brian B says the umpire should call it right. Welcome to CB Buckner Baseball. We warned you at the top of the broadcast. This is what he is. He is, in my opinion, the worst umpire in baseball. The 1-2. Caught looking strike 3. That was a strike, one away. Fitz wanted to argue, but probably because he's not used to seeing strikes being called strikes tonight. Chris Sale with his 8th strikeout of the night. Man, oh man alive. Whoa, whoa. First pitch on the way, 94 up top. Misses high to Mark Kanye. It's 1-0. Kicks and fires. Nice slider up top. 1-1 count. So Blake Snell, by the way, is sitting at 98 pitches, and the question would be, would they send him out there for a 7th inning? They may. The 1-1 down and in, 2-1. The 2-1, Kanye did have a single in the first. The pitch. Swing and a miss up top. 2-2. I'm going to call it a single-ish because Laureano let the ball drop in front of him, one that looked like he should have been more aggressive on to make the catch. That was right after he overran a fly ball into shallow center field by about a mile. They called that an error, though it'll probably get corrected. The 2-2 up top. 96. Did he go around? Now, this time, first base umpire Beck said he did not. I don't know about that. Full count. The other one was a strike. That one's got to be. The 3-2. Lets her rip. Swung on, chop foul off the plate. We'll do it again. So they've updated the card finally. It's Jeremy Riggs down at the first base umpire. Beck is still at second. And Iasono is at third. The payoff pitch. Swing. Chops it foul. Do it again. So Kenya working the count. Number 2 hitter standing on deck is Ramos. Braves nothing. Giants nothing. Game 2 and Game 3 same time tomorrow night and Wednesday night, 9:45 first pitch Eastern. The payoff pitch. Swing. Fouls it back. Good pitch by Sale. Great job by Kenya to stay alive. The 3-2. Sale brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Number 9 on the night. All aboard. Whoa, whoa. Wow. Straight cheese. He's fought off a couple of. That was a really good at bat by Canyon, by the way. First pitch on the way to Ramos. Check foul back behind home plate. It's 0-1. If Sale can get out of this inning fairly quickly, we would probably see him for the 7th. He's at 88 pitches. They would probably bring him back out for the 9th just to see, the 7th just to see how he starts it off. The 0-1. 89 out wide. 1-1. So 1-1 count. What we expected at the beginning of the night. A pitcher's duel. Mano y mano. Sale versus Snell. Doesn't get any better than this. The 1-1. Swung on. Fouled back. We'll do it again. Probably won't happen because I doubt both teams will make it. But wouldn't this be a great matchup in the playoffs? Sale versus Snell in like a Game 5 scenario. Game 3, winner go home. First round. The 1-2. Sale kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Give him an even 10. We'll be back in a flash. All aboard. Whoa, whoa.
Just got invited to an event that starts at 8 p.m. I'm sorry, but not all of us are on cocaine.
How you doing, Ace?
Anybody been on base?
Nobody.
Nobody?
This I ain't seen much of.
Me neither.
I never have. What's the matter?
I don't know if I have anything left.
You just throw whatever you got, whatever's left. The boys are all here for you. We'll back you up. We'll be there. Because we don't stink right now. We're the best team in baseball right now, right this minute, because of you. You're the reason. We're not going to screw that up. We're going to be awesome for you right now. Just throw, all right? Come on.
I just met someone whose name was Hanna, and I said, oh, Hannah. And she said, no, Hannah. I'm hanging on by a thread, people. I cannot do this.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I don't know of anybody besides Robinson who could have done what he did. Many of the black players, Reggie Jackson, for example, said later, he's the only one of us who could have done it. Robinson, Mr. Rickey told him he'd have to turn the other cheek. And as Mr. Rickey said, it wasn't long before he didn't have any other cheek to turn. It just has simply been beat off. I think that they said that Robinson died from diabetes and other things. I think he died from the load he carried.
First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna. is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Zuna, 2 strikeouts. Snell is back out there. He's at 100 pitches. This would probably be his last inning. The 1-0. Swing, chops it foul down the line. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Blake Snell at pitch 101. About to throw the 1-2. Snell comes set. The wind still whipping. Kicks and fires outside wide. 2-1. This is the Blake Snell that won the 2023 National League Cy Young. He has a high walk count always, but low hits. The 2-1. Pitch off the plate. 2-2. Ozuna says something to CB Buckner. I can't blame him, and Snicker just sits there. Just sits there like a lump on a log. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Marcell Ozuna's chugging for second. He hesitated, but he got in there. Let's give him the Big Bear sound anyways. The Big Bear, the Big Zoo with the leadoff double. 104 pitches. You picks off the bear, that's what happens. Let's go. Good piece of hitting. First pitch on the way to Olsen is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. By the way, my producer told me, someone by the name of Kev something, watch your language, son, because they put you in timeout. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Up top, 1-1. This is a family channel, so our producers do stick to that. The 1-1 count. And this isn't like baseball. You only get 1 strike. The 1-1. Up top, misses 2-1. So a 2-1 count. I think that was the guy that was in the chat a couple of nights ago that didn't know his head from his rear about everything in the game that was going on. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, sliced it down the line, foul, 2-2. Reminded me of a couple of people in the chat that we see from time to time here. Today on Twitter, the move that was made was AJ, the 2-2. Swung on, chopped down the third base line. That could be an infield single. We'll see what happens. It is. Ozuna had to hold because the ball was rolled right down the third base line. If he goes with his speed, he's going to give him an easy out. So instead, it's runners on first and second. We get a double off the rip from Ozuna, and then a rolling infield single. Braves got something going here in the top of 7. We would have loved for Ozuna to be able to get down to third. And if he had the instincts to go the moment the ball got hit, he probably gets there. But with his speed, he's better off staying where he was at. First pitch on the way to Arcia is up top wide. High, it's 1-0. But when the move was made today to bring Dylan Lee back and A.J. Minter went to the IL, someone mentioned why didn't they DFA or why didn't they send is the 1-0? Drops a bunt. Oh, just rolls foul 1-1. Why didn't they send Dylan Dodd down instead? He was raising Cain about it, and finally someone just chimes in and goes, Dylan Dodd got sent down about a week ago. Try to keep up. The 1-1, but the way the guy was on a rant, you would have thought that he knew what he was talking about. The 1-1, kicks and fires, swing and a miss, 1-2. Standing on deck is Murphy. Now, the one thing Arcia's got to make sure he doesn't do, and that's why I hate having these clunks all back to back to back to back in the order, is that he is known to roll over into the double play. Just got to stay out of the double play to keep the rally going. The 1-2 brings it high and out of the zone, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Lefty righty. Snell kicks in the dirt, 3-2. Snell is about to throw his 114th pitch. Remember, that was the mark of his no-hitter. I can't imagine he gets past this one. No matter what happens, I would think he's about at the end of his leash. The payoff pitch to Orlando. Snell kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, chased it out of the zone. Well out of the zone, one away. Arcia slams his bat, but it's not really, look, you keep putting Orlando Arcia at the number 5 spot, this is what's going to happen. He's not a number 5 hitter. He had a 2 to 3 week hot streak, and that was it. Ever since then, he's really cooled off. Slams his bat down on the plate like it's the bat's fault. Yep, that's it for Blake Snell. We'll be back in a flash. The bullpen is finally in play.
I guess I'm going to need to be the one to explain to all of the 40-year-old people and above, so 40 plus. You guys keep sending out these thumbs up emojis. We depict the thumbs up as a it's rude. You're rude.
All right, those of you that had thumbs up emoji on your bingo from hell card, go ahead and mark it off, because that's the world we now live in. Younger generations are offended, bothered by, consider rude, triggered by a thumbs up emoji.
So, for example, if you spend $100 and you get a $10 reward, you just made $10.
That's not accurate. That's not how that works.
Yeah, because now in a future purchase, you just saved yourself $10. If you return an item at the store, you just earn money. So if you return something and buy something at the same time, it was free.
I feel like.
Or this one's so good. Like if you go to Starbucks or Dunkin' and you use your app, you scan and pay, it's free because that money was already there.
I'm never gonna have money.
What do you mean?
This is your mindset when you go to a store?
This is just how girl math works.
Girl math isn't a thing!
Armchair.
In 1973, a period of Watergate turmoil in Washington. In October, the Reds were playing the Mets in the National League Championship Series, and Potter Stewart was hearing, I won't quite say listening to, oral arguments in the Supreme Court, and he had a law clerk feeding him information on what was going on elsewhere. And at one point, the clerk handed him a slip of paper, and on it said, Cranepool flies to right, Agnew resigns.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Randy Rodriguez. Fastball right there to Murphy. It's the 0-1. Rodriguez with a 4.07 ERA. Swing, chops it foul. You know they're going to try to get him to hit into a double play. So an 0-2 count. Murphy has to be aware of that. And that's the day. We talked about this last broadcast, but when you put Olsen, Arcia, and Murphy all back to back to back in the order, you're asking for double plays. The 0-2 up top misses 1-2. Standing on deck is Ramon Laureano. They may pinch hit Kelnick if the inning is still alive and bring the lefty up against the righty. The 1-2. Swing, chops it foul. Do it again. Runner at first and second. One out. Braves getting their first 2 hits of the night. One a double by Ozuna and then an infield single by Olsen. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the slider up in on the hands. 2 away. 2 down, and we'll see what the Braves do here. Laureano is due up. They may hold Kelnick. I mean, personally, I think they should bring in Kelnick. But I haven't gotten the alert yet, so it looks like it is going to be Laureano. They may be waiting for extra innings. No, it is going to be Kelnick. I was right off the jump. So Kelnick is going to come in. I mean, you might as well. In a perfect world, you'd be, well, from the bat perspective, Laureano's swinging a better bat, but Duvall has a much better glove right now. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is outside wide, 84 mile an hour slider. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kid Kelnick coming in for Laureano, so he would most likely go to center field. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, same spot. Pitch well off the plate. It's a CB Buckner strike. It's 1-1. That pitch is nowhere near the plate. In fact, it's actually catching the paint in the right box. The 1-1. Swing, slaps it back, foul 1-2. Dealing with CB Buckner all night long. Both teams have, but it just seems like there's been more of a... Sale's really been in the zone. Snell was dancing all around it, taking advantage. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, that'll end the inning. Get up and stretch, Braves country. At least we got a runner on. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 7th. We'll see if Sale comes back.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the night. Find me something to crack down. I don't care if I have to get back on the root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around and the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root. You sound better tonight!
Welcome back. Of course, Sale goes back out there for the bottom of the 7th. 91 pitches in. First one on the way is a slider on the edge. It's 0-1. Matt Chapman, the batter. He'll be followed up by Encarnacion and Yaz. Chapman has struck out his first 2 times. The 0-1. Whoa, did they go around? Looked like he did. He did, 0-2. An 0-2 count. Lefty, righty. Sale brings it. Slider down and in, 1-2. Good pitch. Sale still looks pretty good so far. We'll see how long they let him go, but man, he's He's not showing big-time signs of fatigue out there, so hopefully he can keep that up. The 1-2 pitch. Got looking strike 3. Sit down, son. One away. Rack 'em up, Joe. My fingers are so. 11 strikeouts on the night for the conductor. Snell, by the way, finishing up his night. He went 6 1/3, 11 strikeouts, gave up 2 hits. Identical to what Sale has done right now, except for he gave it the 3 walks, Snell did. First pitch on the way to Encarnacion is a slider outside wide for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, 97 up top, 1-2. Braves nothing, Giants nothing, bottom 7. The 1-2 pitch. Time is called. Encarnacion steps out of the box for a second. Yaz standing on deck. Luciano in the hole if anybody gets on. The 1-2. Swung on and laced down the right field line, but foul. We'll do it again. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow night, 9:45 first pitch. I guess it's because of the strikeouts, but for a game that is no score, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 12th strikeout of the night for Mr. Chris Sale, 2 away. Cocked and fired and got him with the snapping slider on the outer edge. That's the Chris Sale that just is hard to beat. When he's got that slider whipping in there, he's got 2 sliders that he essentially goes to. One is a slow one that comes in mid-70s, and then there's that one that he whips in at 82. First pitch on the way, slider inside for a ball. It's 1-0. I wish half the team had half the fire of what Chris Sale does. The 1-0. Swung on, lifted into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And it's a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 7th. Kind of just fisted that over the infield. Good piece of hitting by Yaz. That'll bring Luciano to the plate. Seeing eye single just got over the shortstop area and dumped into left field. Lefty-righty matchup. They'll leave him in to face the right-hander here. The first pitch. Slider up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Says, watch out for Yaz after the hit. Not to mention, he probably thinks that's the Yaz from the 70s. Flips it over there to first. Oh, buckle up, boys and girls. Jesse Chavez is warming up. The 0-1. Brings it. Check swing. Did he get a piece of that? The ball got away. The runner moved to second. I guess they're saying that he missed the ball, so that's going to be a pass ball on Sean Murphy. I thought he might have gotten him. No, he didn't. Murphy just did a terrible job of trying to catch that. Backhand swipe at it. You see the Braves catchers do that quite a bit. It's very bad technique. So now it puts the runner in scoring position. So you can put that on Murphy. The 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Go ahead run at second. caused by the error, the pass ball by Sean Murphy. He's had too many of those this year. The elite defender, we were told. The 1-2. Slider down and away, 2-2. Not that it is of importance, but Toronto leads the Angels 4-1. That game is in the 8th. The 2-2 from Sale. Pitch 107. Sale does a quick step towards third. Might have been just to restart the clock, excuse me. The 2-2. Swing, pops it up. Will it stay in play? Given chases Olsen over towards first base side. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So another error by the Atlanta Braves defense is not costed this time. Murphy, get it together. We head to the top of the 8th.
Supposed to drink water now. When did that start? Do you remember any time of any moment in childhood that some adult told you, hey, gotta drink water? No, my guy. I'm talking every single sport. Running in the summer, 9-10 hours a day in the blistering heat. Not one single adult told me, drink water. I thought you only drink water like after gym. Did not know you were supposed to be drinking this much water. Then there are like 8 glasses? 8 glasses of water in a day? I didn't drink 8 glasses of water through the 80s, 90s, early 2000s combined.
Hello, a political poll. I never have before, but go ahead, shoot. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Who? Oh, right. I don't know. Yeah, I'm already on the phone, okay? I'm taking a poll.
My apologies. Carry on.
Sorry about that, guy. Go ahead. I don't know.
How could you not know that?
Would you just hang up, please?
Why should I? The man's conducting a political poll, and he has the right to speak to someone who's now an ignoramus.
If you're so smart, why did you tell him that your total salary last year was $12?
That was after taxes.
One of the most flamboyant owners was Charles O. Finley of the Oakland Athletics. He was an old-fashioned autocratic entrepreneur with revolutionary ideas. And for 3 years in a row, 1972, 73, and 74, they were the best team in baseball. They had 3 key players, Joe Rudy, Bert Campaneris, and Reggie Jackson, and 3 superb pitchers, Vida Blue, Raleigh Fingers, and Jim Hunter, a North Carolina farmer whom Finley dubbed Catfish because he thought a countrified nickname would add to his box office appeal.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Couple of updates for you. Pirates trail the Padres 1-0 in the 8th. And the Arizona Diamondbacks have just tied it up as a wild pitch. First pitch on the way to Duvall is an easy, lazy fly ball. Another giveaway at bat. It 1 down. Speaking of DFAing. I think a lot of fans are hard to say goodbye to the heroes of 2021, but they finally got rid of Rosario. First pitch on the way from Rogers, the submarine right-hander. His twin brother is a left-hander on the team. The 1-0 to Merrifield. Swing, chops it foul, rattles around behind home plate off the catcher Bailey. 1-1. Arizona's now taking a 5-4 lead, so Colorado's back to being Colorado. Whit Merrifield's 0 for 1 of the walk, but then he got caught stealing right after that walk on the first pitch, and it killed that rally. The 1-1. Down below the knees, 2-1. I mean, if you're listening to this on radio, this kid Rogers, it always just wows me. His release is the 2-1, swatted back foul, 2-2. He's the last of a dying breed. He's literally a submarine pitcher. His wind-up, his knuckles almost drag the dirt. The 2-2, Swing, chops it back in front of the mound. That'll be an easy 1-3 put out, 2 away. They do have a pretty solid bullpen. They've had ups and downs as most bullpens have. The San Francisco, the back end of their bullpen is the depth of the Giants bullpen is not known to be great, but the back end's pretty good. Pretty darn good. They rank middle of the pack in Major League Baseball at about 16th. First pitch on the way to Soler. He's down and away for a strike. It's 0-1. Braves are now ranked number 3 in baseball behind Milwaukee. A lot of that had to do with this past weekend. They were number 2 all year long until this past weekend. The 0-1 up top. 0-2. That pitch looked a little wide now. But that's the C.V. Buckner brand. The 0-2. Lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 8 we go. Tied at 0-0 against the Giants.
It's like all I do is work, go home, blink twice, and my ass back at work. It's a never-ending cycle.
What are we listening to?
What the? Why did you turn it off?
I don't know that.
It's Travis Kelce's girlfriend.
Who?
The tight end. Travis Kelce's girlfriend.
Well, I know Travis Kelce. Who's he dating?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's been all over Travis Kelce's TikTok lately.
Is she the party in the party
clout.
in the USA one?
No, that's Miley Cyrus. Much more talented.
Oh yeah, that Hannah Montana chick.
Yeah.
Is
Hannah Montana way better than
Taylor Swift? Why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah, the song. She was big in country in like 2008.
Oh no! She the something with the
Garbage.
stupid screen doors.
She has been on Travis.
Yeah, I remember that dumbass. Yeah.
So literally, she's now trying to literally like chase clout with Travis Kelce. Right?
She did the same thing with John Mayer.
Absolutely
John
not.
Mayer, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is not a joke anymore.
You know what?
It's
You know what's the
funny.
Prince of Persia? What's the guy's name?
Jacob Gyllenhaal.
No, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm Team Jake.
Armchair.
Excuse me, sir. Why are you a Mets fan?
I'm not.
Then why are you here?
I came with my buddy.
Is he a Mets fan?
I doubt it.
Excuse me, madam. Do you like the Mets?
Mets. Who likes the Mets?
Then why are you here?
This is a ball game.
Excuse me, sir. Are you a Mets fan? Why don't you get lost? I'm trying to watch the ball game.
Nobody worked the corners the way Catfish Hunter did. He would start inside and outside and up and down. If the umpire was giving him a call, then he would widen the plate and widen the plate. Plate is 17 inches wide, and batters used to say that by the end of the game, he was throwing to a 22-inch wide plate. But I remember Catfish Hunter losing a World Series game after he'd won a lot. The reporters rushed over, thinking they'd find him crestfallen or gloomy or silent. And he was just the same as he'd been before. And he finally said, well, he said, the sun don't shine on the same dog's ass every afternoon.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. We'll turn it over to Rutro Raggy. It's Joe Jimenez. First pitch on the way to Bailey. Fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Jimenez with the awful outing yesterday, trying to get him right back on the horse. I get the idea behind it. Just makes you really nervous in a game where we've had a hard time scoring. The 0-1. Fastball misses high, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Coming in. Making the catches. Kid Kelnick, one away. One down. Jimenez brings it inside, hits the guy. He's going to head down to first, so here we go. He's put one on with the free pass. One on, one out. Got him on the right thigh with the slider. Just did not. I mean, he just started it way inside. It was a cement mixer. They'll pinch run for as Fitzgerald will come to the plate. First pitch on the way, swatted high and deep into left field, going back on the track. Making the catch is Jorge Soler to away just before the warning track. That was a loud out number 2. Wisely came in for Wade came in for Schmidt to catch up speed. Immediately, he was hit by a pitch, and then Wisely has come in to pinch run for Wade. So they've used 2 guys on that move. That'll bring Mark Kanya to the plate, righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. I think maybe Chavez was only going to be used in the 7th inning. Brian, I see you asking about Jesse. The 0-1. Down and away. Did he go around? He did. 0-2. C.B. Buckner called it at the plate. Didn't even ask. Down the first base line. So you can imagine Kanye's a little upset. He did look like he offered, for those watching on or listening on radio. But CB has not brought any real substance to this entire night. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. Even when you want his call to be right, it's hard to defend him after what he's done all night long and his entire career. C.B. Buckner's been a disaster for years. The 1-2. Jimenez brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got it back, bounced back, and that'll end the inning. Braves will head to the top of the 9th, looking for a run to get this puppy home.
Rawr.
What sound is that?
A dinosaur.
A what?
Dinosaur.
It's a what?
Dinosaur.
Make the sound again.
Rawr.
Oh, you talking about them things from Jurassic Park?
Hey, I got a quick question for all the Caucasian homies out there. Cottage cheese?
You know what? Fair enough. Good question. I've got a follow-up question. Chitlins?
But even Finley's championship A's couldn't draw 1 million fans a year. All across the American League, attendance figures lagged behind the harder-hitting National League. In 1973, to remedy that imbalance, Finley and other owners pressured the American League to try an experiment, the designated hitter, which allowed a better-hitting player to bat for the pitcher without removing that pitcher from the game. Everybody adopted the designated hitter. Everybody but the oldest organization in professional baseball, the National League. From then on, the national pastime would be played under 2 sets of rules.
I remember 1972, before Bowie Kuhn and Charles Finley took that out of my hand for good. Didn't allow me to hit. Lolich had me 0-2, and I moved up on the box, to take away his curveball. New Freehand saw me do it, so Lolich tried to bust me inside with a fastball, or so I was guessing, and he did. And I hit a line shot to right field, and Al Kaline, who was the ancient mariner of their ball club's already a statue. He came in, the ball went under his glove, rounded first, rounded second. I came around third, and it would have been an inside the park home run for sure, but I had never been there before. And I'm looking for Popowski, and people know the Red Sox. Popowski's only 3'6", and I couldn't pick him up in the crowd, but he was way down the line waving me home, and I came around third, and I couldn't pick him up, and I slowed up. Finally, he held me up, or I would have had inside the park home run. That was my last at bat in a Red Sox uniform.
Welcome back to Hard the Braves Order Due Up. First pitch on the way from the right-hander Walker is off the plate wide for a strike. A CB strike. It's 0-1. San Diego leads Pittsburgh 2-0 in the 8th, so they're probably about to put the door shut on that one. The 0-1. A little bit further outside, got the ball 1-1. Both pitches were well off the plate if you're listening on radio. The 1-1 pitch. Way outside, wide, 2-1. The new right-hander in the game, Ryan Walker, usually comes in as their setup man. 6'2", 200-pounder. The 2-1. That calls that one a ball, and it was, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot closer than that one he called for the first strike. The 2-1 count, he's got a 2.2 ERA. 3-1 pitch, way outside wide, called for a strike. Riley can't believe it. That's 2 strikes called on him, both of them out of the zone. Riley asked for time. Weiss and Snit are getting lost in each other's eyes there in the dugout, not paying attention to the game. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a C.B. Buckner strikeout, 1 away. One down. Kind of with the nasty looking change up, it kind of dips in almost like a sinker. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch. Swung on and fists it over towards second. That's going to dribble through somehow and get in for a base hit. Marcell Ozuna, the second hit of the night. A seeing eye single through the infield. That thing had a mind of its own. They're going to pitch run for Marcell. I don't know if that's the greatest game plan in the world, but I get why they're doing it. We're here in the 9th inning. We'd love to end it. And that thing just took a nasty bounce. Hopped over the head of the second baseman, Wisely, who just came in to play defense. But I'll tell you what, that's got nothing on him. That ball literally popped over his head as he was sliding down. First pitch on the way. They're going to flip it over to first to keep Luke Williams close by. Luke Williams will be the pinch runner. What that will do is open it up that if we do go to extra innings, and I don't hate that, if it opens up to extra innings, you're going to have, as the first pitch on the way, outside wide, it's 1-0. You could have Travis d'Arnaud hit for Luke Williams if it comes back around into extra innings. It also leaves Eli White available to pinch run later. The 1-0. Swing! Fouls it down the line. Come on, Matty, baby. This would be a perfect time for you to get into one. Put it into the drink over the right field wall. Braves nothing, Giants nothing. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. The 1-1 to Matty. Outside wide, 2-1. Olsen 1 for 3 with an infield single back in the 7th. The 2-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. That is they're calling it a slider, but it really is like a changeup with sinking action. Because it takes a dip at the last minute. Like it's almost to the point where you want to go inspect and see if he's got an emery board in his back pocket. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's laced towards second. Line drive. Making the catch over there is Fitzgerald. 2 away. Hard hit ball by Olsen. Right into the teeth of the defense. Two down. Some StatCast dope will try to tell you that should have been a base hit. 2 down. First pitch on the way. Is a sinker on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Turns around, flips it. Now, the one thing about Walker is he's got kind of a long, funky delivery, so Williams may be able to steal on him. But he does have a pretty quick move to first. The 0-1 chopped over towards third. Foul. 0-2. The 0-2. Braves nothing, Giants nothing, top 9. The pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground. Soft grounder to third. Arcee another easy 5-3 put out to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Tied at nothing apiece. We need a shutdown inning to take us to extras.
Should we start drinking now so we have a nice buzz when we get there? We're only going to Walmart.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today's guest, my radiator. Anything else? Thanks.
Bro, I ain't got to worry about my wife cheating. I got to worry about her driving like she got 9 lives, running her mouth like she's 6'4", and if she's actually ate anything today, or if she's just still running off pure rage and caffeine.
I ain't nothing but an old country guy. You know, I like sitting outside, sitting by the campfire, drinking Coors, waving at neighbors, petting my dog, drinking some more Coors. It ain't nobody bothering you about nothing.
You better not be burning any trash over there.
You
armchair.
For 20 years, Henry Louis Aaron had been the quietest of superstars, self-assured, utterly reliable, intensely private. Born in Mobile, Alabama, seasoned in the Negro Leagues, he played brilliantly for the Braves, first in Milwaukee and then in Atlanta. But as the 1973 season drew to a close, he was suddenly the focus of even more attention than Roger Maris had endured 12 years earlier. He was just 15 home runs short of Babe Ruth's lifetime record of 714.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Braves Country Baseball. Iglesias will come on. This is a strange game plan because normally is the first pitch on the way. Excuse me. Slider on the outer edge to Ramos. It's 0-1. Typically, you save him for extra innings if you get the lead. The 0-1 right there, first strike. 0-2. But he hasn't pitched that much over the last few days. They may be thinking a possibility of going more than an inning. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the 95 cheese up top. One away. Good pitch by Iglesias. As we're set to face the middle of the order here, Matt Chapman comes to the plate. First pitch on the way, 96 inside. It's 1-0. Of course, just a reminder, the game-winning run is at home plate, the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. So the Braves will be playing pretty conservative defense to try to prevent anyone from scoring. The 1-1 pops it up high in the sky into center field. It's Kelnick, not Laureano, so he'll make the catch. 2 down. Two away. Left-handed bat of Michael Conforto. You got to be careful here. He does have 12 home runs. Conforto coming in for Encarnacion. The first pitch, swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1. Outside wide. 1-1. Conforto, if this goes to extras, will slide into left field. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. 96 on the outer edge. 1-2. The 1-2. Iglesias brings it. 97 up top, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Bottom of the ninth. In a scoreless tie. They set up outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ball gets away. Murphy's got it. Flips it over to first. And that'll end the inning. we head to the top of the 10th. Free baseball, Braves country. Murphy leads us off when we come back.
Dad!
What?
I know you drink a lot, but what the heck?
What do you mean?
Look what you had me for lunch yesterday. Half a taco from dinner last night. A hot dog bun. A whole thing of Greek yogurt.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
A piece of lettuce. A strawberry. A raw egg and a fat carrot.
Oh, my God. Would you just go get dressed for school?
I tell you, I never thought I'd get a chance to do this right here. This is about the fourth inning I went. This game's kind of dragging on a bit. I wouldn't blame them if they found out, that it's going to be a little bit longer and they went on to bed. I appreciate y'all staying. It means the world to me. People all the way up in the upper deck, people down here in the lower bowl, man, I love y'all so much. I'm so proud to be a St. Louis Cardinal for this long and to win 200 games the other day with everybody supporting me. It was a dream come true. The first one's called Hey Y'all, and it's all about growing up in the South. It's all about good manners and sitting up straight and respecting your elders, and I hope you like it. Let's play it for them, Gary.
300 writers who had largely ignored him till now began traveling with the team, determined to be on hand when he broke the record. But at season's end, his total was still one short of tying Ruth Smart. The pressure from the media and the fans continued all winter long. I was a prisoner in my own apartment, he said. I lived like an outcast in my own country. At one point, he was receiving 3,000 letters a day, most of them unsigned. I don't want them to forget Ruth, Hank Aaron said. I just want them to remember me.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Sean Murphy will lead us off, which means, of course, Orlando Arcia is set to be the ghost runner. There's not a lot of options. You almost have to. You could have put Luke Williams there. We burned him with the Ozuna one. First pitch on the way is his brother Rogers, the lefty. Fastball misses high, but it's a CB strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, slaps it down the line, foul. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes the throw to home plate. And Tui does not have a single cajona. So he'll leave Arcia at third. But we do have runners on the corners. Nobody out. It truly is unbelievable. Arcia got a decent jump, but I will say this. Arcia, yeah, that was probably a good idea by Tui this time. It's the first time I can say Tui actually made a good call on that. Looking at the replay, Arcia was watching the ball the whole way and kind of Fred Flintstoning it towards third. Kind of those short steps where he's not sure if it's going to drop. I mean, there comes a point when you've made it that far, you might as well go, because you get 80% of the way to third. They make the catch. You're going to be roasted anyways. That'll bring Travis d'Arnaud to the plate, and we got a pinch runner at first. It's Eli White for Murphy. First pitch on the way is down and in for a strike. It's 0-1. So what that'll mean is that White will go to center and d'Arnaud will go behind the plate defensively. The 0-1. I'm going to flip it over there to first to keep White close by. They're thinking White might take off. You wish that Arcia had a little more speed because you could play the stolen base game where you send White and see if he gets in a rundown and RCA could score, but he's so slow. The 0-1. 93 inside, a CB strike. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. I'm sure Darnold is noticed on the bench, but you're going to have to swing the bat because this clown behind the plate just does not have a grasp of the strike zone. The 0-2. Runners at the corners, nobody out. On deck is Duvall, so come through, Darnold, please. The 0-2 pitch, swing, slaps it back foul. We'll do it again. Try to keep up, Yell. They've already pinch run Murph. The 0-2. Runners at the corners, nobody out. The pitch. In the dirt, 1-2. That was a sweeper in. And Darnold, I mean, I kind of wish he would have kicked his foot out there and gotten hit by that. That was a slow sweeping ball, and that would have loaded the bases. He just moved his foot at the very last second. The 1-2. Swing! That ball's blasted down the left field line, but hooking foul. We'll do it again. Rogers about to throw his 9th pitch of the inning. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. The 1-2 to Darnold. Swing. That ball's hammered into right field. Almost over the head of Yaz. He'll make a running catch, but Arcia will easily score, and the Braves have taken a 1-0 lead. Thought that might get over his head. If that got over his head, Eli would have had a chance to keep roaming. Braves do what you're supposed to do, score that run from second. Man, if that got over his head, that thing would have bounced around. Because of the threat of that going over his head, Eli White went halfway, so he had to retreat. First pitch on the way to Duvall is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Adam Duvall 0 for 3 and has really looked lifeless at the plate for about a week or so. The 0-1, be a good time to snap out of it here. Pitch inside 94, 1-1. On deck is Merrifield. And if the Braves could keep it going, we'd go back to the top of the order after that. You may need more than one run. The 1-1 inside 2-1. That's that same spot that CB's been giving CB strikes all night long, but he called it right this time. The 2-1 pitch. Rogers comes set. Lets her go. Caught looking. 2-2. That one looked like it may have touched the inner paint, but it was definitely a CB strike nonetheless. So a 2-2 count. They set up inside again on the right-hander. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Duvall, just an utter mess up there at the plate, 2 away. If you're wondering how bad it's been with Adam Duvall, Adam Duvall in the last 7 games is batting .053. First pitch on the way to Merrifield is inside, almost gets him. 1-0. He has had 1 hit in his last 19 at-bats in the last 7 games, Adam Duvall. He is hitting .140 in his last 15 games and .196 in the last 30. The 1-0. Swing! Hits it high, but got underneath it. Just missed another one. That is the second time tonight Merrifield has taken it all the way to the warning track. And that'll end the inning. Braves take the 1-0 lead, but they'll get a ghost runner as well We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Dude, I'm so tired. I'd do anything to get 8 hours of sleep at night. Oh, just go to bed 8 hours before you have to wake up. Nah.
You praying? I'm asking the Lord to watch over my little girl.
Well, while you're at it, ask him for a win. I got money on this.
You bet on a kid's baseball game?
I got 3-1 odds.
I actually was jogging off the field. I'm like, dang, boy, he look mad. Boy, he finna give it to somebody. And then I'm like, oh, it's me.
Hey, bro, since the 1980s, the average rent price done went up damn near 4 times. And the cost of food done went up like 4 times. Yep, that too. And the cost of every object you could buy with money has also went up 4 times. Yeah, quadruple. That was the plan. What about the American dream? You don't think that's evil?
All right, I'd like to review the expense report from the sales trip. Could you please pull up the expense report? And I believe that Kate should be pulling up first, which is a perfect example of how your report should look. Staying within budget, that's great job. Brian, pull yours up next, please. All right, see, this is where everything goes awry because your budget was $60 a day and you just blew through that.
Okay, well, it's New York, so, I mean, you can't even get like a cup of coffee for $60.
Honestly, that doesn't give you liberty to spend $17,000 on one client.
Gotta spend money to make money.
You're expected to stay within the budget at least. You do not need to take the client to Sapphire Gentlemen's Club.
Honestly, for the last time, no one should be going to a strip club on the company card.
On opening day 1974, the Braves played the Reds.
3-1 pitch. There's a drive into left field. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth in the all-time home run parade. The crowd is up. The standing ovation. His teammates are there to greet him. A 3-run blast by Henry Aaron has tied the great Babe Ruth.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Iglesias back on the mound. Runner at second. First pitch on the way. 95 up top. First strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 94. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Yastrzemski, the batter, 6, 7, 8 batters up right now. The 0-2 just got a piece of that. We'll do it again. Due up in this inning is Yastrzemski, Luciano, the designated hitter, and then Patrick Bailey. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96 up top, 1 away. Good pitch by Iglesias. Man, has this been a pitcher's duel? Sale, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts. Snell, 6 1/3, 11 strikeouts. First pitch on the way is a slider, a hanging slider. Luciano, that's a dangerous one. Got to be careful. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slider down and away. Did he go around? I guess he did not. 2-1. The defensive replacement, just a reminder once again, Darnaud is back behind home plate. And in center field, it's Eli White. The 1-1 swing pops it back foul. Soler in left, Duvall in right. And I know in an ideal situation they would like to have had Soler on the bench in defense, but you can't really bench him. The 1-2. Outside just misses. He's been calling that a strike all night long. 2-2. For 2 reasons. A, you don't really have anyone left on the bench you could do. The other thing is, if we get past this inning and we have to go to an 11th, Soler will lead you off. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Braves are 1 out away from getting game 1 of this series. If we did have to go to an 11th inning, the only good news is that not only would you have the top of the order, but Merrifield would be standing on second with great speed. This game, it's a throwback. First pitch on the way, swung on, slapped into left field, making the run and catches that Gold Glover, Jorge Soler. He's got a big wry smile, and the Atlanta Braves, that has got to be one heck of a whoo off their back. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Game ball? Well, I think it's no doubt it's Chris Sale. Chris Sale goes 7 innings, 12 punchies, just 3 hits allowed. And your Atlanta Braves get back on the winning track, get the stink of Sunday's loss off of them, and a big win. You go this hard, this deep with your best pitcher, you want to get a win. And on top of that, it's got to be a little bit of a gut punch to the Giants because they put their best foot forward and just came up short. It was a great game by both teams, great pitching. The Giants ended up with 16 strikeouts on their end. We had 33 strikeouts total in this game, and Atlanta wins a big one, 1-0. We'll see you tomorrow night. I don't expect tomorrow night be anything like tonight, because you got 2 pitchers who have struggled on the mound, Morton and Harrison. We'll see you tomorrow night, Braves country. I got to be at work in about 4 hours.